up, everybody, and welcome to Flagrant 2. It's a Patreon episode.
Yeah.
No easy buckets analysis by assholes. Water cooler commentary for your sports needs. We are back. KD's not playing in the finals. Hot take. Hot take.
Hot take?
Hot take.
Ooh. That's a hot take or that's a scoop?
Hot take. A hot take. I can't tell you if it's a scoop or not. I can't say. All I could do is help us move media. That's all I could do, guys. All I could do is take little whispers. I'm the Varys of the NBA.
Bro, really? Talk, dog.
Listen,
So I got my little ravens. I got my little whispers. I got my little whatever out there.
let me tell you something. I used to look at you crazy when you used to say these things on the podcast, and now I'm just like, God damn.
And I used to look at him crazy when he was like, everybody's taking our shit. And there's still a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But a lot of people taking our shit.
I'm starting to believe it a little bit more now.
But
Let me tell y'all something.
I think it's a little bit. I think he might be a little paranoid about it. But
No, I'm not paranoid.
No.
That's just the way a paranoid person was saying. That was very paranoid.
No, it was. You're 100% right. I felt like a conspiracy theorist and shit, but like, when the aggression was, I'm proud.
Yeah.
Like when I'm like, yo, they're taking our shit, I'm not upset. I'm like, yo, we are moving sports
people
media.
hear us, yo. Like people
literally, it took a week. We said on a podcast, all right? I told y'all about the Rob Pelinka joint, right? Because I had my people telling me. Now, this is what's very interesting, what we're going to get to in a second, but about how he's a pathological liar.
Yeah.
Now, it took a week for the story to come out on ESPN, Bleacher Report, other spots.
Yeah.
But the reason it took a week is because they needed evidence, okay? And they found the evidence, and it was the Kobe story with Heath Ledger.
Yes.
And Rob Pelinka is telling Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson that, Kobe spoke to Heath Ledger.
Lots of The Rock.
Fam. And Rock knew it, too.
The Rock knew it, too. Like,
Look him dead in his face. Like, come on, fam, stop it.
Like this candy ass.
Started pulling at his elbow and shit. Where's my pad at? So Pelinka's telling the story, and what Pelinka was doing is he's using Kobe as a device. Kobe is his device to get the youth to listen to him. He knows that the youth look up to Kobe in this insane way.
Jordan.
He's their Jordan, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, boom, if I want them to do anything, I'll just say this is what Kobe did. So I want you guys to lock it in focus. Hey, Kobe locked in focus, blah, 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 with Heath Ledger. And then he's just making shit up, pulling shit out of his ass. This is what agents do.
Yeah.
This is what all agents do, pretty much, to be honest with you. Okay, so they find that story, runs with it a week later. It's out there in the ether. And then you start seeing media folks tweet like somewhat veiled shit. Right. Like, y'all are just finding out that, I forget what Amin said. Amin El-Hassan, shouts to Amin, he said something to the extent of like, y'all are just finding out Ms. Doubtfire is really Robin Williams or something. Some kind of shit.
Asians lie, bro.
Yeah, I thought you said Asians lie.
No. Shout out to Smile Direct. Agents lie, man. That's what they do. Yeah. And I think people see like the whole Bob Myers
Asians
thing.
too honest, to be honest with you. I would think they would lock that shit up sometimes.
Yeah, they're like, this is spare ribs.
little
Like,
rude.
no, it's not.
Nah, Asians be lying, son.
Yeah, they do be
Asians do be
lying.
lying.
I've eaten many a pigeon, I think.
Facts.
Like, I don't know any sesame chicken. Anyway, whatever. They see the Bob Myers thing with the Golden State Warriors, and they think, it could work out. We could hire an agent, and they could turn into a powerhouse. They have these player relationships, and like people trust them, and yada yada yada. And nah, that doesn't work, especially when you're the Lakers. And we were talking about this the other day. It's like Game of Thrones. Like, there's so many powerful families coming with the Lakers. There's like there's House LeBron, there's House Lakers.
Yep.
There's House Magic, and then there's the fucking Bus family.
And now you see the narratives really spinning out of control, and everybody's fighting for their power. But real quick, back to the KD thing. What I suspect is this week you'll start to see this said. You'll start to see KD's not playing game one.
That's for sure. That's out there.
They did just announce that Boogie is active for tonight.
He ain't gonna play.
Yeah.
But
My man tore his fucking quad.
So KD not playing game one. I don't think KD plays until, and I don't think he plays the whole series, but the only chance that he plays is if they go down 2 games.
If it goes 6, he's playing.
If it goes 6, maybe he's out there. And honestly, maybe not. I really do not think that KD is playing. My little whispers, my little birds out there have told me information. Do you know what I mean? Information.
I've heard some
information
things too.
I can't even share with y'all.
Things.
What'd you hear?
I've heard some things.
Like what?
Heard man bought some property, bro.
Oh, this is different.
Heard that man bought some property.
We'll get into that in a second. I'm just talking about injury-related things.
Okay.
I've heard some things which I cannot share because it's so specific. No.
Oh,
he's hurt.
Oh, he's really, really hurt.
But like the extent, not the extent of injury, just like the extent of recovery and where he's at. And I can't tell you what I know about that because it would be too obvious maybe to some folks how I know. All I'm saying is KD is not playing.
Can I tell you what I think it is? And then whatever. I think he actually had a grade 2 strain from what I've read about it. That's 3 to 6 weeks.
I don't know anything about the injury.
That's my theory then. So my theory is they said it was mild and everybody was like, oh, a week.
Right.
But it was actually a moderate strain. And they just kind of tamped it down to a mild. But moderate is 3 to 6 weeks.
Because they're doing football shit.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what does an NFL team do? They say, he's listed as maybe.
Week. Yeah, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady apparently has had like a hand injury or something for like every week.
Well, Tom Brady is one of them.
Yeah.
But like, but most teams are going to scheme for Brady regardless.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, but I think what we're both trying to say is, you don't say that a player's inactive because that gives the opposition one less player to scheme for, right? Especially a KD. So if I was the Toronto Raptors, I'd be doing everything in my power to find out, the status of Kevin Durant's injury because if I knew it, then I didn't have to waste time.
Takes a whole lot of that takes half of my game planning out of. I don't have to worry about it.
So that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say nothing more.
So he's hurt.
I ain't gonna say nothing more. I ain't gonna say nothing less. You know what I mean? All I gotta tell you is Toronto might have the greatest sports fans in all of North America. I dead ass believe this, and you gonna find out tonight. When is the game?
Tonight. We're recording on Thursday. Game is tonight at 9 p.m.
Okay,
9:30, I believe.
9 p.m. 9 p.m.
Oh, okay. So last night, I don't know if anything happened, but motherfuckers were tweeting out the hotel.
I saw that.
Right?
Yeah,
they're tweeting out. Shouts to Dude McFly. Was tweeting out the hotel, and if Toronto's outside that hotel with the vuvuzelas and shit and making it look like World Cup South Africa so they can't sleep, they're the best fans in all North America. Dead ass.
Toronto fans got my respect, and I was getting annoyed at how much hate I was getting last year when I was like, they're not going to win. DeMar DeRozan, I don't believe in them.
Right.
Carrier one seed, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
They didn't let you breathe.
Bro, I was just like, fucking relax. But they're annoying because they're so passionate.
Yeah.
And when they win, they're going to be the most obnoxious fans if they win.
And they're going to be mad polite.
The fucked up.
They're going to be mad polite. And also, Drake said it right. He goes, it's a college sports team environment here. If there's one thing Drake said 100% right, it really is that. Like the fervor around a Duke UNC game. That's what they got.
That shit is nuts, bro.
So they're pulling Jurassic Park, for anybody who's listening, is this area, the Raptors, obviously a Raptor is a dinosaur. Jurassic Park is this area outside of the arena where all the fans just coalesce and watch the game on this big screen. I think there's a big
outside
screen.
The arena. Yeah,
outside the arena. They're just there to watch it.
You know what we got?
Remarkable, yeah.
If Ed and Alex are wrong, and this is not a sweep, we gotta go to Toronto for Game 5. Pull up
down.
somewhere, just record.
What day is it?
That's a quick flight.
I'm going Sunday. I'm going to Game 2.
Okay.
You're going to Game 2?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Oh, that's why you're not back until 1 a.m.
Right.
No, we're not back until 1 a.m. That's the following Sunday, and that's because we're going to be in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Will there be
can you look up a final schedule?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
We got Ed and look it up.
Got it. Okay.
Can I tell you one thing real quick? How fucked
Game
over
5
I get with sports?
June 10th, Monday.
If I book a show in your city, your team going to the finals. I'm going to St. Louis this Friday, Saturday. The Blues are in the NHL Stanley Cup, right?
Technically, the Rams used to play in St. Louis, and they played in the Super Bowl this year.
Right? Yeah. And then the week, I agree. You know what I mean? Went along with my point.
That was a reach, but I'll take it.
Exactly. Yoga flame. And then the weekend after this, we going where?
Toronto.
No. Golden State, San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yep.
And we're going to Toronto.
And we're going to Toronto.
It's a blessing, bro.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing if the Matador
it's just
think about it, their fans are so hardcore because it's almost like the Olympics for them. This is like the team of their country.
Yeah.
Right. The whole right.
That's a great fucking point.
The whole nation got one team.
Yeah.
So everybody identifies with that one team instead of we can't even agree on what the team in New York is.
Yeah.
Right? You put a river in between us and it's like, nah, B, that's not mine. Yeah. Real talk.
I loved Brooklyn before like 2008.
And then,
now I'm just like, fuck Brooklyn. You know?
so
Was that when they came? New Jersey Nets?
If I don't know if you can make that work, Schultz. Monday, June 10th. That's supposed to be the day we have the basketball game. That is going to have to get pushed.
Yeah.
Andrew's having.
where's the game?
Just having his
that
ass
would be in Toronto. Game 5.
Oh yeah, I'll give y'all an update on the Hemis.
Someone tweeted Young Hemi.
Young Hemi,
So funny.
Young Hemi, bro. I got the illest nicknames. It is Young Hemi now.
Actual illnesses.
Yeah, and then did we talk about this on this podcast or was it Brilliant Idiots? The
Which
Nilla.
one?
Nah, My NILLAZ. I was waiting to drop that. My NILLAZ.
Yeah. I was saying it on Brilliant Idiots. So just to put everybody together. So like somebody hit me up on Instagram and they posted a comment. They were like, My NILLAZ. Or about one of my videos or something like that. Yo, Schultz, you my NILLAZ, right? And I was like, oh my God, white people, we finally got one. We finally got one. So
do y'all want to say the N-word that bad that you got to have NILLAZ?
first of all, don't say that word, yo. That's disrespectful to white people. Nah. That's our word, son. That's our word, son. Yo, Kaz, son, you're not white. Don't say our word, bro.
I gotta pass you,
You know what I mean? Nah, you might not either, son. You
you
need to be careful, son.
So
that's our word.
So if
we're taking back the power. For years, vanilla's been basic, bland. It's been used to describe things that have absolutely no point and absolutely no culture and absolutely no significance. Oh, this is vanilla. How was the show? It was vanilla. How was the Broadway play? It was vanilla.
Yeah.
How's
How's
his new
my sex?
apartment?
It's
Vanilla. How's the sex? Vanilla. It was whack, right? Well, now we're taking the word back. Me and my nillas are not putting up with this shit no more. All right? King Kong ain't got shit on me and my nillas.
That's not even how the phrase goes. Right?
What? It ain't.
He didn't even say that last part.
Yeah. He added it.
Hey, Nilla, please. I can't get this shit all right. You know what I mean? It's brand new to me. I ain't gonna get it right the first time. I gotta work in a little bit. I've been avoiding this word like the plague from the whole damn life. But finally, I'm out here. You know what I mean? So shouts to my Nillas.
God. Oh gosh.
Yo, Vanilla Squad.
So if I can't
Throw it up. Yeah.
If I can't. So what do I call it when I can't say
Let's
Nilla?
have Vanillas. Say what?
So like since you have to say the N-word.
Yeah.
What do we call your
The N-word.
You also say the N-word.
It's also the N-word?
Yeah.
Oh man. I get very confusing very quickly.
You gotta realize ours is the N-word, but illa.
I'll go off on that one.
Yo, it's lit. It's lit.
I think I hated it because it was good.
Like I wouldn't be upset right now. I'm sorry I can't.
Yo, Black Twitter about to shut down over this one.
Oh,
They're
for
like,
sure.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
It don't sound right.
Wait until you get somebody that can like
It's still
manipulate
too
sound.
close. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
When I
bro.
said Manila, I was like, yo, that's a lot.
If I watch it on mute, I'm still gonna get upset. I read lips, bro. I'll be like,
And you know what's crazy? This was crazy, right? Like Long Island Jewish moms pronounce vanilla.
see that the ERs, I even feel away right now.
Right? But
You
don't they
say
do? They go
Miller, I'm like-
vanilla, idea.
Whoa, bro.
Yo, son.
With the ER at the end, that's offensive.
First off-
That's not even context.
I
in which
can't
you could
believe
say
he
you
just
already
said
in an
vanilla
Eminem
in
song.
front of me, yo.
Yo.
He's lucky he didn't get punched.
Yo, real talk, son. Them's fighting words
That'll
around
cost
the
you a
cul-de-sac.
Yo, some of my best friends are white though.
Gas has had sex with many white people.
I've had sex with so many white people. I can't be racist. What do you mean?
Son, it's crazy out here, bro. Yo, I'm just saying, my nillas and my killers is just out here, dude.
yo.
Drug dealers.
Oof.
Dude, I could rap now. I have a word I could rhyme shit with.
Here's the thing about the N-word. My friend who's a comic says it very well. It's just comedy dynamite. It just makes every sentence funnier. That word at the end when black comics use it, just bang. Everything just a little bit funnier.
It's like an
Nilla,
exclamation point.
That's just as close as you could get.
It's as close as you could get. You know what I mean?
Wait, so I gotta ask permission. So like, if I'm fucking a white girl,
Yeah.
And if I ask her, can I be like, yo, my Nilla bitch?
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Who raised you, bro?
Yo,
What the
real
fuck?
talk, son.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Yo, you a wild boy,
Funny,
son.
though. That is because you had white girls say some wild shit to you, right?
Have you had white girls say the N-word to you?
They haven't.
They haven't?
Yeah.
I've had one.
I fuck with good ones.
I've had one.
The
Wait, you
European-
never had,
Yeah.
you never given white girls such good dick that she said the N-word?
I guess not.
Damn, you be giving trash dick.
Yeah, I guess
Cass
not.
be laying the fucking blam, son. Cass be making, son.
I for sure had one.
You
that,
be
like,
turning back
happened
the
one time.
clock, bro. Cass fuck a bitch below the Mason-Dixon line.
Fucked it back in
Giving them that
1862.
Underground Railroad.
God damn.
Real
That
talk.
Underground Railroad.
My gosh, yo.
That give us free dick.
Real
Cass
talk.
got that Amistad.
Damn, son. I
I
can't
was in
believe
college.
Alex.
I thought it was a power player, bro. Like I thought it was dope.
Damn,
I didn't know better back then. Like if I knew what I do now, I'm like, damn, like don't like my dick probably would have got soft. Like I got more.
You got
like,
harder
turned
at
me
it.
on. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I fucked her racist.
You fuck her Yo, you ain't fuck a girl unless you fuck her racist.
Bro.
Real talk. Mean
My
that
gosh.
shit.
Her ancestors felt it.
Yo,
That's why.
That's why I can't.
That's why.
Hey,
it
listen,
came out.
Yo, you gotta give him the Jim Crow stroke, bro. That's where it's at. Do you know what I mean? Oh,
That back of the bus dick.
yo, real,
You give her that Rosa Parks, bro.
where you want me to put this dick, Selma?
You got to mark on this dick.
Oh God damn it!
Real shock, man. Bro.
Oh fuck!
You know it's about to get integrated.
Y'all know it's crazy, man. Y'all know
dick is
it's
whites
so
only.
crazy, bro. Y'all know it's so crazy.
Oh my God!
Woo, man.
Boy,
Son,
God
be
damn.
careful. Son.
yo, this
Please
is gonna.
don't.
Yo,
slip.
my tongue is about to.
I know, don't slip.
What is it
son.
called? Me. What is it?
You're on a good
Your
streak.
tongue's gonna slip, bro.
Nah, it's gonna.
Slip
What
of
is
the
it?
tongue.
Yeah, but it's gonna like deny me. What is it called? Betray me.
Freudian
It's
slip.
gonna
Oh,
betray.
yeah, yeah.
My tongue
It's
is
gonna
gonna
happen.
betray me. That's why I can't even fuck around with it.
You can't.
I gotta say vanilla. Yo, can you say "but"? Say it.
Nah.
Say "but."
I can't say it because you're telling me to say it.
No,
Like,
okay.
it's just-
May you say?
Yo, Alex, can you ask
Can
me
you-
to say?
Because I would prefer if you refer to me as your Yo, that's the illest.
I wish they could
Say
make
it.
that the
Say it.
title of the episode.
Yo, can you tell me? Can you say it?
You know?
What? Just vinegar?
It's so lit, and that is the title of the episode. It's going down. Yo, real talk.
100%.
Horrible time to change the title of
Oh
the
my
podcast
God.
to Andrew Schulz.
I know, right?
Andrew Schulz is no easy buckets.
Hey,
What niggas?
hey, we about to get a lot of internet attention, though.
Yo, you gotta call your white friends
Mama
N-words.
niggas.
Yo, real talk. That's how you gotta talk to your white friend. Don't call them N-words. Call them whatever. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think that's more responsible.
It is more responsible. It actually is. I
Because then
feel- I
they're
feel
never
good
going to
about
think they can use it. They're never going to be like, well, I get called the N-word all the time. No, you get called the VN word.
Boom!
it. The VN word.
You get the VM word. Yo, VM word. You gotta call your white friends the VM word.
VN word. Can't do
Yo,
it.
if you see me in the streets, call me the VM word. Can you call it to me one more time, Al? Call it to me one more time.
My vinegar.
Yo, it's so ill, bro. Real talk. That's my vanilla right there, bro.
Wow.
Oh, man. Yo,
Wow.
you funnier with hemorrhoids, dog. I'm telling you. This shit is...
The asshole's tighter than ever. That's why. It's just-
Yo, real talk, it is.
You're at a all, this is some fucking...
Dude, it is
tragedy, bro.
So I went to my doctor's appointment,
Okay.
and what's it called? Doctor asked me to lay on the
Your stomach first?
word, son. Word. We already laughing. We already laughing. Lay on my side. Okay, my doctor, Dr. Palatucci, gay dude.
Give you that
Palatucci.
side stroke.
Yo, son, dead ass,
man.
opens my hemi, takes my hemi off. My hemi looks like he
took it off?
Not takes it off, but like he takes
It's
it
a
off my
hemi.
butthole because it like leans on my butthole. It looks like a button from a
Remember those
corduroy
Dodge
jacket.
commercials? That thing,
Like the child's play
It's a
doll?
Hemi.
It looks like you ever have like a nice pea coat
Yes. Oh, okay.
It's a button from a pea coat. That's what it is. So it's just like kind of laying on it. He moves out the way and he goes, "Oh yeah, you got this thing, and it's thrombosis and what all these other kind of shit." And
it's empedigo.
What's thrombosis?
Thrombosis or some shit like that is when like the vein goes in there and then hardens.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, all right, and he takes the curtain, he puts the curtain back, and he goes, "Oh, you can get changed now." And I was like, bro, I mean, you just basically fingered my asshole. You don't gotta put the curtain back. And then he looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, but maybe I don't want to see you naked." I was like, "Oh, that's a good point." This whole time I thought he's doing it for me. He's considering my body.
Like,
I'm walking around with the most arrogant, hemorrhoided dude on the planet. Like, "Oh yeah, everybody wants to see me, guy. You need a little privacy."
My gosh. Well, I mean,
so I got another appointment today. I might have to dip a little bit early.
Okay.
I have another appointment today where I go to a proctological surgeon, a colonological surgeon. I don't know. And
colonics?
Son, I don't know, but I go to the surgeon today. Dr. Key
Alex, you get some bad karma off this, boy.
No, I already did. I'll tell you my story. I'm
about to say,
I'm fucking up right now.
Okay, perfect. This is
right,
good.
We'll lead it right
so
into
I go
that.
there, and I got to check it out. Now, I do have to shout out my boy. I'm forgetting his name right now, but remember I told you there was a proctologist that was an asshole.
Yes.
Literally an asshole. Doctor is an asshole. And I've never sent a nude to anybody in my entire life. Okay? No girl has ever said it. There's no dick pic of Andrew Schulz out there in the world.
Right.
But last night I sent a picture of my butthole and my hemorrhoid to the asshole army proctologist.
Wow.
And he gave me some diagnosis. Say again?
He's going to put that on Patreon?
Please do not put that in the Patreon. The Discord.
Why not?
Please do not.
Is there an actual...
You had a lot of requests. Like, they'll want to see it, like, on the Patreon.
All right, fine.
We got to
So how quick I flip?
that doesn't take any convincing at all.
Like, it's not even 2 seconds.
That doesn't take any convincing at all. Like, I had the whole thing ready. You're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like a girl's friend, like she's not gonna give you some pussy.
No, man, you gotta work harder than that.
Damn.
That was even
You gave
quicker.
up the contest to your butthole way too quickly for me,
So
bro.
one bad thing.
Fuck. One bad thing.
Only one bad thing. I don't think that we're going to be able to do the game at the same time if I end up getting surgery.
You see what happens, Alex? You see all the shit you talk? You see? Yo, God don't like ugly, bro. God don't like ugly. He's about to get this ass whooping and God did it for you. Like, yo, take some of this.
He put this play in the works weeks in. He's
See?
like, wait a minute, a little blood, wait a little
like-
hurt. Oh,
like,
now
this might swell
surgery.
just on top of Juneteenth. Like, let me just.
So there is a chance, there's a chance that I don't end up getting any surgery, and maybe they can find some way to do it, and then we will be able to play. But I'll know today after I go get the thing.
But if not, how about we just try to lock in June 17th? Is that too soon?
Oh, if I get surgery, it's going to be months.
Really?
Yeah. And so it's and this is why it's really bad. It's months with an open wound right near
your ass,
where all the bacteria in your whole body is getting removed. So it's open for infection. It's a fucking horrible process.
Yeah.
And they said 3 months. The guy was telling me that it could be up to 3 months.
3 months that you like just don't.
I don't know. I'll
Physical,
go crazy
or
if that's the
what
case.
is it?
I'll go
like,
crazy if that's the case.
That's-
So I'm hoping that right now I'm not in pain.
Yeah.
So right now it's just there. It's kind of inconvenient to wipe, but it's not like a fucking painful thing.
Not a problem. It's not anything that they could just say you could just like deal with it, or
Yo,
like,
on some level, it's like, all right, if that's possible. I mean, I worked out the other day. I felt okay.
Are you considering getting a bidet?
Yo, I sat in my shorty's bathtub last night for 30 minutes in a Indian posture.
In your what?
Come on, son.
My ears perked up a bit that too.
I was like, what's happening?
Like that.
You really burned the leader right there.
Ain't like that, son.
got
Stop
shorty
it. Listen, when you get a hemorrhoid, you gotta lock something in. You don't know how this gonna go. You know what I mean? You might be like this for life.
Oh my God! Yeah, nobody's gonna want it.
You know if she's a patron? Well, you know she's a patron.
You never know, bro.
Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. Let's
My
get
girl's a
moving.
patron too. I didn't think so.
Hey,
She
real
came and hit me with
Look how
some
quick he
bullshit.
wants to change topics. Yeah.
I don't like talking about these things. I don't like talking about.
I'm saying,
I know, like I don't need to talk about it no more.
no jokes. I'm saying like real shit.
Yeah.
Search that name and then just block that shit early. I'm telling you from
Just save
experience.
yourself.
Just you know what?
Just save
Just-
yourself.
Oh no, I already started about that. We're not listening to any of
gosh,
this.
Okay.
None of this. You can listen to Western Bros. That's the only rule. You're not listening to nothing else. Western Bros fine. It's about movies and shit. You're not gonna listen to this savagery.
I think her mom's listens to the show now.
Your girl's mom?
Yeah,
Oh my God, Kev.
And now she know about
not the regular one.
black dick you've been putting in all these white bitches.
All these what type of bitches?
I'm not gonna say it. Alex.
He's the niggas.
Yo, real
It
talk.
actually feels good.
You've been fucking bananas. Yo, we're so many standard deviations away from the memes.
my God,
Like, where are we even right
I have
now?
no
What is
fucking
okay to
idea,
say?
bro.
What's not?
I have no fucking
Banana?
idea. God damn
That's
it.
wild.
That's what I'm
Just
calling
pay
it
for
from
this
now
shit.
on.
Yo, but we
not
are
a
calling the
patient.
episode of N-words.
But not.
You're wild.
So I-
N-words.
We got to.
There's a sample on iTunes. You can't
What does that mean?
Son.
For ninjas.
yeah, but we choose what we put on the sample.
I'm saying the title is the Vaninas.
Oh.
No, the N-words.
That's going to still get flagged.
Why would it get flagged? The N-word is not a. I thought you said it's not a curse word. Yo, real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk, son. Yo, everybody.
What if it's just vanilla with the ER at the end?
Vanilla?
Yeah.
That's even
You can
crazy.
say it.
I could say that word.
Vanilla-
Y'all can't say that.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
not
say it. I
hard.
would never disrespect you
I
like
wouldn't
that.
disrespect people like that.
I don't use
That's
slurs,
not-
man. That's
Yo,
not
I
against it.
appreciate y'all for having respect for my people and my
Of
culture.
course. My best friends are white, man. Like,
Yo, real talk.
no hard ER over here.
Nah, never.
We can't say.
What? Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Say it.
Yeah.
Say it now.
Faggots?
What? Did he say vanaggets?
No, there was no N.
Vanaggets, yeah.
Faggots. Oh, what?
Oh, I thought you
Vanaggets?
straight cut out the N.
Yeah, I did.
No, vanaggets.
It was too hard. I
Yo,
gotta have to-
that is crazy.
I'm glad you call yourself the second
Yo,
time. I was
we
like,
really
man,
gotta find a white way to turn to like be upset at everybody.
Yeah.
Like vaninks for like Asians.
Do you call women vacunts?
Vanillies, vanunts.
Oh, man.
Well, on the group thread, you said it was short from vanilla. So then we called Ed and Attila.
Yeah.
Tortilla.
So for tortilla, yeah.
You're a
yeah,
tikka.
I'm a tikka.
yeah, like tikka
My
masala. Yeah, my tikka. My tikka. My
Hey, bro,
tia.
chill.
Yeah, you're right. You're
Hey,
right.
really?
My bad, son.
Jesus
That's on
Christ.
me, man.
Nah,
That's
you
on
know
me.
what? You know what? I'm gonna just be the bigger person. Y'all can just use it. It's how I take it. This is what matters. And I don't
Listen,
I don't choose
Take
to
it,
get
please.
offended.
Let me tell you something. If there's, I'm using it.
I don't respect
I'm
your
using
people.
it.
It's about context. If you're like, get out of my country, you stupid ticker. I'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right,
Oh,
fam. All right, fam.
whoa.
First of all, we
That's
would never do that. We
unnecessary.
would move into your country. We would say, get out of your country.
Oh,
Hello,
God.
tickers.
So yes,
Hello,
I was
a
just
little
overcharging
karma.
all about
Okay, what happened?
I have a little discomfort in my gooch area.
Really?
That's so funny.
You got that hurt?
Nah, I went to
Biking class?
Nah, I just went to sit down on the toilet and I kind of like slipped and put the bidet on full blast.
Oh.
I felt like a super soaker pumped up mad time straight into the gooch area.
Yo, well, time out.
That shit
Keep it real.
hurts
Keep it real.
right-
Keep it real.
You got a bruise?
It felt good for you at first, didn't it?
Nah, I
You
was
liked it.
Yo, I yelled, like shot up, yelled, waters everywhere. That shit hurt so much.
Why was it so powered?
full throttle? That
Why
shit
does
goes.
it get that
Why, I
strong?
was gonna say, why does
Who
it have that
needs that?
setting?
Yeah.
Why does it have like a
I
depth
mean,
setting
some
on your
people got
butthole?
different.
Why you got
So,
why you got a bidet? You got a gay
how
ass
do you-
bidet, dog.
How do you get through a hemorrhoid like Andrew size? You need
Yeah, you're
some
right.
power.
You need some
so-
power, son.
Oh.
Now
No,
you
that's
don't
a
gotta
good point.
shoot that shit off, dog. You might not need
you
surgery.
should
You might
try
just need to
that.
sit on his bidet.
Just shoot that shit.
Shoot it off like a fucking civil rights fire hose.
Yeah.
Like a civil rights.
Just blast that shit.
Yo, just put on some DMX in the background. My dog's white.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. What if that's the bathroom at the Civil Rights Museum? It's just so you know what I mean? Just so you know the struggle.
Yo, that was the first bidet, son. Y'all didn't know that? Dead serious. They were washing those black people, and one of them
You know somebody's.
fire hose in a black dude, and one of their bottles got mad
was
clean.
like,
He was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, no. They onto something with this. Once we're
We might
free."
just did something right here.
He's
I'll
like,
tell you what feels free right now. This nutsack feels nice and free right now.
he's like, anybody got a little towel?
The white supremacist guys just taking off hoods. Like, here you go.
Tomorrow's sit-in is going to be a lot more pleasant. Be an asshole. Oh my god, we are on fire.
Jesus Christ.
Yo,
right, guys.
The only other time we were this funny was when Alex forgot to record.
Oh God, let's hope that
That
didn't fucking
fire-ass
happen
hour
again.
that we
God
had.
damn it.
Day
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jesus Christ.
to this day.
To this day.
Fuck.
All right,
All right, so the final start tonight. By
Final
the time
start
people
tonight.
hear this.
CP3 already on the trade block.
Yo.
Bronny IG crazy.
Bronny IG crazy. We got a lot of things to talk
Got
about.
know.
Lil Wade and Lil Braun playing at the same high school
Yep.
next year.
A lot of things happening.
huge.
Should we discuss CP3's fall from grace? What the hell is Houston doing? What is happening over there?
I know I wasn't alone in saying this, so I'm not saying this, but like, we all knew last year this was the stupidest fucking contract of the offseason, right?
Of course, by far.
And to act like someone's... I mean, maybe I'm underestimating how dumb other GMs are, but the idea that anybody would take on this contract is crazy to me.
But people forget that, like, around the time, like, yes, Chris Paul got hurt at the end of the year, but he was balling in the Western Conference Finals. Like, he was giving Steph Curry the work.
Yeah,
And if he didn't get hurt, they go to the
But
finals.
that's the thing. He did get hurt.
He did get hurt, and they
he
still signed him to
And
that.
he does get hurt, and he's in his 30s. He's not going to get hurt less.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you a super max at that. You got to make the business decision and be like, nah, man, you ain't getting that.
He'll
is
be
he
36
playing
by the
worse
time.
than he's been playing? Is he playing that much worse this year?
He
than
didn't have a
Yeah.
great playoff. Think about at
He had
least.
27 in Game 6.
Yeah, but his Golden State series last year, that was every game. Like, he was
He carried
winning
him.
games
Sure.
for them.
He carried him, but I guess what I'm trying to understand is like the way that we're remembering his playoffs this year, it's like he stunk it up, and I don't think he did.
struggled until Game 6, I'm pretty sure. If you look up his stat line, Game 6 was good.
I didn't look up
But the
stats.
storyline throughout was, where's Chris Paul? He's
And on
not.
top
He
of that-
needs to show up.
And on top of that, like, the clinching games, like, Steph Curry destroyed him.
He put 27 in that game.
But defensively,
6.
Steph ate his ass up in the second half.
Yeah, but nobody's stopping Steph, right?
That's supposed to be Chris Paul's MO. He's supposed to be a two-way point guard. He's supposed to be a guy who locks up.
Sure,
plays
but
defense.
what we really know him
And
as
then we
a
kept
floor
seeing him
general.
fucking flop and doing that shit because he couldn't
was
guard
awful.
nobody.
It was
That's
awful.
why.
But I'm trying to understand. Okay, these are his stats.
Yeah. Let's
This
go a
is
little bit
season
to the
stats.
right.
We just want
Yeah, so the career low in points
Where's this?
right here.
15.6.
15.6 points per game. Only, 8 assists? 8 assists is still pretty damn good.
Yeah, but it's a pretty far drop from where I guess you're sharing the ball with Harden.
Yeah.
But
And it's
we're
not-
looking at. I'm talking about against the Warriors in the playoffs. If you could look up those stats game by game, if that's possible.
Still getting 2 steals a game, which is still pretty good. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you got to
That ain't a $200 million player, whatever the fuck you
Yeah, I
signed him
think
for.
he gets like $40 million. They still owe him something like $109 million.
Yeah, it's
over
crazy.
the next 3
and
years.
the decision again to beat a dead horse to sign him to this contract, but then say to Trevor Ariza, "Nah, we can't afford it." If you want to sign Chris Paul, you're saying, "Look, fuck how stupid this is. We're going all in for the championship."
Sure.
And then to not sign Trevor Ariza made no sense to me. You just eat that also.
yeah.
So where are we at?
So
here?
this is the 2018 playoffs,
Okay.
conference finals.
So he averaged 20 points a game, which is 5 points more or 4 points more than
4
his.
assists, or close to 5 assists. Yeah.
And 7 rebounds. We're rounding up. 5 assists, 7
These are
rebounds.
great.
20
These
points.
are good numbers.
These are
That's
great
2018.
These are good numbers, but you're not going to win with
And
that.
that's the playoffs. I don't think that's just the Warriors. This is the overall playoffs. And
We would love the Warrior series.
Yeah.
Please. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think we're having a little bit of a revisionist history problem with Chris Paul. I don't remember him.
I
playing
actually
too
remember
poorly this playoffs. I think that he played quite well, but they're just not good enough to beat the Warriors, which is understandable. The blame is just going on players instead of D'Antoni. And in the past, the blame has always gone on D'Antoni. So this is the first time in D'Antoni's career where he's not taking the blame with his style of play. Last year, the story was, you can't have 7 players. Of course, in Game 7, their legs aren't going to work. That's why they couldn't shoot 3. You got to have a deeper bench. Now the story is, let's blow up the team. We're going to keep on doing this. And maybe James Harden just loves playing for D'Antoni. He loves that system, loves the ball in his hand.
Well, it blows up his stats, which is great. But Chris Paul in this series had 17 a game, but that's with 27 in Game 6.
Right.
His rebound 7, assists 6. That's actually good, but his points per game is not as high, and that's also with a 27-point elimination game. So if you take that away as the outlier, think about how much lower his other 5 games are.
Right, but he scored 16.7 a game, which is more than he averaged during the regular season. He increased every stat.
Again, though, in a 5-game sample, one 27-point game is going to raise your average 3 points a game or whatever, just off jump.
Put my tinfoil hat on.
Right.
Put my tinfoil hat on. But one thing I'm wondering about this, right, is if you're the GM, if you're Daryl Morey, why do you say this now? Why do you come out and be like, yo, we're essentially blowing up our team, everything's for sale, whatever's not nailed to the floor can go, right?
Even Harden is apparently...
Even Harden, right? I think that shit that was swept under the rug last week about the Chris Paul, James Harden blow up, that everyone's like, oh, it's teammates, they do it all the time.
Oh,
I had to have been worse.
I think that was the thing.
Than what people are letting on right now, for the fact where it's like, you just signed Chris Paul last year, right? You believe that this guy was going to be your point guard for the next four years at most, right? There's no way after one season when you lose to a team that everyone you've lost to for the past 3 years, you don't sign him to that contract if you don't think he's going to be there for the next couple of years. Something went down between James Harden and Chris Paul.
Yes.
And a lot of times when these things happen, teams get blown up. And I think Clint Capella is probably going to be like the first guy out. Because same shit that happened with the Knicks. Something went down with Porzingis. We got to get rid of everybody. We got to get rid of fucking Hardaway, Burke, everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think Harden is the one guy that they can't move. Chris Paul is the guy with the contract they can't move. Their third best player has to go. Gordon, Capella, any of those guys. Maybe they get into the Anthony Davis sweepstakes. Maybe they get into the Bradley Beal sweepstakes and try and trade for him. I just don't see how you move that Chris Paul contract unless him and Harden really had a fucking falling out.
But even then, you can't, like, who wants it? That's the thing. They apparently, people think the Lakers could take him on.
The Knicks could take him on. I know the Knicks will do something stupid.
It would be the dumbest fucking move.
It would be so Knicks if they do that, but I really don't think they'll do it. But with that being said, I think Washington's in play. Washington Wizards.
Maybe.
They got some young draft picks. They got Bradley Beal who wants out. John Wall's done for the next year or two, I think.
Yeah.
You need a point guard. You got some young pieces. You're not going to win anything. He's a veteran.
Poor guy.
You know, I think Washington's a viable option as well. Rockets get back Bradley Beal. I like him. I like Bradley Beal alongside James Harden way more than
Sorry,
I like
real
Chris Paul
quick note. I couldn't look up the other few games, but Game 4 and Game 5, Game 6 we know, but Game 4, Chris Paul had 13 points. Game 5, he had 11 points.
Yeah.
So, like, that was the general tone. Then 27 in the elimination game where they needed him, but, like, that was the one game. Sorry.
So those kind of balance out the 27.
Yeah.
So then the other games he had regular games.
Probably, yeah. Regular games, but that's not
He's not
super
making regular money.
Right. But he's consistent. He played consistently with what he did throughout the career, throughout his season, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He had two games that were good, 2 games that weren't that good, and then one really big game, and then imagine another game that was regularly what he does.
Smells like Melo to me, man.
Look, I'm just saying. I think that we're operating right now on this thing like he sucked it up in the playoffs. He's the reason they lost.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I'm not saying we.
Right.
This is the narrative that's in the news. I'm addressing the reason why we're talking about this. So the narrative in the news right now, Max Kellerman, everybody is saying in ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, Chris Paul isn't an all-star anymore. Chris Paul isn't good anymore, etc. And I'm like, hold on. You guys had all season to talk about this. Nothing happened all season. His averages in the playoffs were no different than they were in the season. You just need a scapegoat for the Rockets, and now we're no longer using D'Antoni as the scapegoat.
But I think they're also looking at him like compared to max contract players, he's taking it up.
100%. And I agree with that. Yeah.
So I don't watch First Take because
but I'm saying keep the
Second Take.
Keep the but I'm saying is keep the same energy that you did all season. If you're not saying that all season with those numbers, don't say it in the playoffs.
Maybe they thought like, all right, they're coasting as many teams do.
Because then that's true. In all season, a lot of them are looking at like, oh, this is what he's sacrificing so Harden can have these big numbers and sacrificing to be a big part of the team. And then the second you lose, it's like, oh, yo, you trash. You can't play no more. You know what I mean? Like when Curry has smaller numbers because KD's around, he's sacrificing. That's because that team is winning.
Yeah.
But if Curry has smaller numbers and KD's there and they lose, it's like, man, Curry ain't got it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's what we do.
But that is kind of how it goes. If KD goes down and Steph fucking destroys the second half and eliminates the Rockets, I think that guy was sacrificing this whole time. But if they lost game 5 and 6 without KD, people be looking like,
Steph fell off.
All right, Steph.
Sure.
And that is just kind of the way it is.
Totally.
But I would say my thinking of Chris Paul in the playoffs was he needs to step up because Harden doesn't elevate his play in the playoffs. I think this is the best series I've seen from him in a while in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it wasn't elevated. It was consistent. To beat the Warriors, you needed elevated Chris Paul.
Yeah.
You need to elevate everything to take out the Warriors.
Yeah.
And he didn't until game 6.
But if you're the Rockets and you assume KD's not coming back and Clay might be gone.
That's the thing. They're a beatable team.
That's what I'm saying. Like you took 2 games from them at full strength. You don't stick it out another year, and you've already hitched your wagon to Chris Paul last year.
To your
I just
point,
don't see
maybe
why you
there's a
blow it
beef.
up. Right? That's what I think. Something must have happened. Like
So definitely something happened, right?
You're not going to sit there and
I think the reason why he said the whole team is available is his way of saying Chris Paul's available.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's like how do I say it? It's like you're at Foot Locker or something like that. You're like everything's on sale. And it's just like, let's be honest, what's really nobody wants Crocs. Right? Like, so
there's
it's
a difference between a 10% sale and a 60% off. 10% off and like 80% off.
Right, exactly. So how do I save face? How do I say Chris Paul is available and save face? Okay, I'll say the whole team is up for grabs, pretty much except Harden.
Right.
Now, nobody's going to take Chris Paul. But they might take Clint Capella, and I can throw Chris Paul in there with it, and then we can make something interesting.
I think Eric Gordon made him a nice payday. Like I think he's tradable.
Hell yeah!
He's somebody that people will take.
But I'd be
I don't
surprised
think
if
the Rockets will trade him.
I don't think they want to trade him because I think he fits
He was one of
perfect
their
into the
best players.
D'Antoni system. Yeah, he hooped.
I think he was the second best player in this
He stepped it the
He
fuck
had
up.
great games, and I didn't watch the regular season, but I think he elevated his play in the postseason. He was important in those games.
And as long as he's been healthy, he's been consistent everywhere he goes. Like he's always been a bucket wherever he goes. There was a season where he averaged like 20 something a game. And even off the bench, he gets like 17, 18. Like he's very good player.
And let's be honest,
and he makes good money where you could make those contracts work and get somebody good in return.
Chris Paul is not a D'Antoni point guard.
No.
He's morphed himself into one kind of by taking more threes, but Chris Paul is a traditional foul line jumper, 18-footer, mid-range point guard. He's not really going to go to the basket and get fouled. He'll get good high percentage shots, but they aren't the ones that D'Antoni wants. D'Antoni wants layup, three. And Chris Paul is literally neither.
Where does he actually fit?
In 1997.
Yeah, that's it.
I wouldn't go that far.
In 2010. In 2008. It's pre-Steph. He exists in pre-Steph.
Would you take Chris Paul over Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet right now?
Yeah.
I think he fits great in Toronto.
That's the team I was thinking about. But I don't know if I take him over Kyle Lowry.
Here's the thing.
I definitely
Money considered.
I'd take his skill set. I'd take his skill set over him. I don't think I'd take his personality.
That's the other thing.
Oh, well, that's another thing.
So it's like, that's the thing that's the problem with Chris Paul is there was a time where he was so good, you put up with it.
Yeah.
And now he's not as good anymore.
Yeah.
Right? That's what I said when I was talking when I said that his grandkids aren't going to like him. He's got that kind of personality where it's like, when you're holding down everything, you'll tolerate it. The second you are not the person who holds down everything, it's like when your boss asks you to hang out after you already quit.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Why I need to be
For
here?
what? Why would I spend time with you? I was doing that because I had to, because you paid me.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't have the same value to me.
Exactly. So it's like, I think I think you're going to see Chris Paul is about to get a rude fucking awakening. And I don't, just like Melo, I don't think he can check his ego. It's going to be the same exact
Melo,
fucking, yo, Chris Paul is going to be out of the league very soon.
I don't think he's going to be out of the league, bro. So if I'm the Rockets, this is what I do. Waive and stretch. Cut him. Pay him out for the next 10 years or some shit. Like, you cannot justify that $109 million for the next 3 years. You just can't.
Plus, he puts you in the tax, so you're paying whatever the fuck you're paying.
Exactly. But luckily, it's Houston. So, whatever state tax that you had to pay, whatever, I don't think they count. Anyway, whatever. With them, I don't think he's out the league. But you start going down the line of great point guards. Is he even I'm not talking about accolades or most accomplished. I'm talking about right now. Do you take him over? I think it's 15.
Here's another reason I would hesitate to take him over
15.
Another reason I would hesitate to take him over Kyle Lowry. Chris Paul always seems to get hurt. Healthy Chris Paul, sure. But when have we seen healthy Chris Paul in the playoffs operate? This year, maybe, but this year I think I might rather have Kyle Lowry.
And it's not like injuries
in the playoffs
reduce the older you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just going to get injured more. The idea of taking the biggest issue for me is just personality, because I don't think that he has the personality that can adjust ego based on skill, right? Because
Melo.
Melo, exactly. So it's if he could do that, what I would say is the place you need to be more than any other place in the world is Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would be, imagine Chris Paul and Giannis. That is the exact player Chris Paul wants. Chris Paul wants a guy to run pick and roll with, a guy he can lob it anywhere, he's going to slam it down. And Giannis would get so many easy buckets. The problem is, do you want to bring a personality as fucking annoying and irritable as Chris Paul into an organization that's seemingly blooming with stardom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to taint the water. I wouldn't want to risk it.
What about the Pelicans?
Absolutely.
If they're able to keep AD?
That's actually a really good fit. I like it. Him and Drew Holiday, AD, Zion.
Again, though, the money is a thing.
They're
paying Drew $150 million. Right. They want to pay AD a supermax. Then you bring Chris Paul supermax. That's a lot of money in the door.
But that's your three.
And that might be fine because you don't have to pay Zion.
And the rookies ain't going to make shit.
Yeah.
And everybody else on the team is getting whatever. It's not.
And then by the time Zion is up, Drew and Chris Paul will be off the books. So, maybe.
Honestly, Chris Paul wouldn't mind that, because Chris Paul
what other franchise would love to welcome him back more than New Orleans?
Ooh.
That's a great, Alex, you might got it.
You might have got that right there, Alex. He brought basketball to New Orleans with the Hornets. After Katrina, him and Drew Brees were the fucking heroes of that city. They still love him like a god over there, bro. So he comes to New Orleans. They try to make it work this 1 year with Anthony Davis. He's trying to convince him to stay. Zion fucking balls out, and maybe they convince Anthony Davis to stay and they sign him again. And you run with those expensive two players.
But you also got to make the salaries work in a trade. So what are you trading if you're
giving up? That's another thing.
They're not giving up nothing.
Oh yeah,
because you got to make salaries match.
Yeah.
You're not giving up nothing.
And nobody has a $40 million trade exception.
Got to stretch and wave, man.
So that's the thing. I have to give you my worst fucking contracts, or I don't know. I'm not giving you a good player for $40 million. I'm not giving you $40 million in players I like.
You're not getting AD.
Hell no.
No.
How many more years is
I think 3 more years.
How many more years is Chris Paul in the NBA?
Oh,
I think 2 tops.
I think 1 more year as a possible starter, and then he's coming.
I think
the bench.
the one difference between him and
then
Melo.
after that,
Then he might be done. His body will break down.
so 2.
I think the one difference between him and Melo is Melo's a scorer. As you get older, your ability to score really dissipates. Chris Paul's a passer. Your ability to pass and make people better, at least in that way.
Yeah.
Even if your personality sucks, that's there. That's not relying on athleticism.
GM wise, that's another thing I was gonna say. GM wise, if I'm running a team, Chris Paul seems like everybody who's been around Chris Paul is like, oh, he's gonna be a coach when he's done. It's if I have a young coach, or I have an older coach, or somebody who I can see helping my young coach, you know what I mean? I get Chris Paul.
You know what kind of coach Chris Paul's going to be? He's going to be the coach that makes your star better, and then the star gets tired of him and he gets fired. And then eventually the story will be like, yeah, Chris Paul made me better. But it will end poorly everywhere.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
Perfect fucking
I want to say that, but I think Steph liked Mark the whole time, right?
They loved Mark Jackson. There was something going on.
It would be like that, but if Steph was like, get this guy the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Well, Mark fucked his shit up because I think Mark wanted to have a church.
Yeah, there was some.
And he was like, I want to be able to fly back and forth to the church. And they were like,
no.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's like,
Explain that. I didn't hear that.
he's like a big time, he's like a pastor,
Okay.
I believe. And he has his own church that's in LA. And he wants to like go and, you know,
Fly
hold
from the Bay
service
to
and like
LA.
fly back and forth to do it. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
like you're getting paid millions of dollars to coach basketball. This is your job.
Oh, you fucking.
So they cut
Yeah,
that
let
shit
him
out.
go. Yeah. And I heard some
kudos-
other shit, but
What else you heard?
no, I mean, you know,
He gay.
not gay, but like there was
Hang
something
out
that
at
happened.
church.
I don't know.
Throw it out there.
Who the hell knows? But yeah, Chris Paul. He's a guy I could see sticking around the league longer than the next 2 or 3 years because I could see him easily transitioning into being a head coach. Kind of like Jason Kidd, kind of like Tyronn Lue, kind of like Derek Fisher.
See, Jason Kidd checked the ego.
I think he's
Jason
gonna
Kidd-
have to.
I
eventually.
don't think Chris Paul is capable of checking the ego.
But the thing with Chris Paul is that like everybody could see him being a head coach, and if I'm a GM and like I want him to, I respect his mind for basketball, and Chris Paul wants to be a head coach. I think that's what checks his ego. It's like, you know what? I'm not here to
We'll see.
try and win.
You got a lot of belief in people checking their ego that they don't think they can.
I think people who love the game of basketball, like you know, especially if they will have a feature in it. We all know, like,
We'll see.
I love Melo.
We'll see.
I'm a Melo fan.
Isn't he the head of the Players Association?
Oh, Chris
He
Paul.
was. I think
Oh, he's
LeBron is
not
now.
anymore.
Yo,
Okay.
I just think LeBron
here's
is now.
here. Let's not take too long on Chris Paul, but here's something I want to point out, just in more predictions that we made on Flagrant 2 that are coming to light. There was a clip of Kawhi saying, "I just love to play basketball. You know what I mean? I don't need the fame. I don't need none of this shit." And on last episode of Flagrant 2, I said, "I promise you, the right wing nuts are gonna, the shut up and dribble
Yeah.
folks are gonna gravitate towards Kawhi."
Because he shuts up and dribbles.
Because he shuts up and dribbles. And it's a shame because he's not like that at all. He's not doing it for that reason, but they're going to wrap around it. This week, Laura Ingraham,
oh God.
the Fox News
Yep. The actual
host.
the person who started saying "shut up and dribble."
The startup and dribble, the shut up and dribble person, she quote tweeted the video of him doing it. It was like, finally, an NBA player who gets it, or something like that. So this is already, and it's a real shame. And this is where you need a
Fucking
PR
Vanega,
campaign.
yo.
What was that?
Just such a Vanega.
So
it's
the ER
like-
on it for him.
Yeah, Laura Ingraham, she's a nigger. By
Jesus.
far, bro.
So it's just it's interesting
on
to
a
see
salad.
these things.
So put her on a side.
Another thing that's happened. This has been a big week of our predictions, but this is something that what's his face already said. Just nobody ran with it yet. Was Adam Silver talking about the potential mid-season playoffs?
Right.
So now the NBA is saying that they're exploring it. You know what I mean? We had spoken about this on a podcast. All I'm saying, guys, is you hear it here first.
Yo, real talk though, to your Middle America point, Kawhi, unwittingly, like he's not going to mean to, but he's going to be the most powerful marketing tool for the NBA because the people they can't really get, like LeBron is big, but like racist NFL. I hate Colin Kaepernick because he kneels fans. They don't like these black people
Yeah.
voicing their opinions, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Kawhi, they're going to be like, oh, that's my guy.
Yes.
They're going to create a lot of fans.
Knowing
Fans
that-
we might not want or whatever, but like, I think he's going to end up making a lot of basketball fans.
Let me tell you something. Knowing that makes me really hope he stays in Toronto. I really hope he stays in Toronto specifically because of that. Because one, that's their type of athlete. You know what I mean? Like, he'll be beloved over there. And I don't want fucking right-wing nuts to fucking get their fucking grubby little hands on. Like, yeah, that's my guy Kawhi. He's not like LeBron.
Yeah.
Fucking all
They'll
about
do that
me with
wherever.
the
He's
LeBron.
not, because he's not, no free agent destination of his is Cleveland or fucking Milwaukee. It is
True.
It is LA
New
or
York,
Toronto or
Boston. Where else? I think it was LA.
Well, the nice thing about being in LA or being in Boston or being in New York is that you have a media conglomerate that can push the narrative about you that they want, right? So New York or LA would protect their star. The second Laura Ingraham would tweet about it or something like that, LA would start releasing stuff about, you know, how he's in the communities and he's helping out, but you don't hear about it.
Right.
They do whatever they could do to protect their star.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if you get that in Toronto because Toronto's like, well, we don't give a fuck what they say over there. We love them. Like, look who's at Jurassic Park every day. Look who's buying all the jerseys. This is
it's a multicultural. It's an actual melting pot. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
So, I love Toronto, by the way, man.
Yeah, I fucks with Toronto, man.
Fucking city.
A lot of love for Toronto.
I was trying to find the clip. Did you guys see Kawhi chopping wood? Like karate boards and shit like that. I don't know if that was an old video or something.
Yeah, that was an old Foot Locker commercial.
It was a commercial.
Yeah, like they had like DJing and shit. They were like, they went up to him and asked him like, "Oh, so Kawhi, what do you do for fun?"
Yeah.
And then like, he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then they had him like replay his last 24 hours, and it's like he's chopping fucking breaking bricks, and then like he's DJing like an EDM party and shit.
I think I remember he's doing a bunch of crazy shit, but it's always with a completely straight face.
Right.
Yeah. And he was like, "I'm a fun guy" or something.
Don't play. I don't want to risk that shit.
He's on the wine.
Oh, okay.
It was just for you guys to see it.
Oh yeah, I've seen this shit. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not.
It's a Gatorade commercial, not Foot Locker. My bad.
It's not real though.
Yeah.
Yo, so
those wood pieces, they're like pre-cut.
Yeah. Okay, so
I love Kawhi though, man.
So what else? What else were we talking about?
I want to talk about Bronny Jr.
Yes.
Wait, where's Katie buying property?
Oh yeah. So apparently Katie sold his house in San Francisco,
which everyone is doing since they're moving arenas.
Which makes sense.
But
that's right. They're moving to
San Francisco.
To San Francisco
from Oakland.
From Oakland.
His house is in Oakland.
Bay Area, but they're moving closer to the new.
Sold his house.
Mm-hmm.
Bought a house in New York allegedly. Now this rumor has been going around for months.
Mm-hmm.
We heard this rumor a few months ago, I think. Okay.
He's pitched. His 35 Ventures Media, which Rich Kleiman runs, opened up an office in New York, and now this week they're saying Kevin Durant actually bought a home in New York this week. So
I will say this: the worst time to buy real estate in New York.
Why is that?
If he was doing it strictly for investment purposes, not the best time.
Why? Rent's going up.
Yeah, no, the market. Apparently, the market's about to take a big dip.
Really?
So everybody's trying to get liquid right now. They're trying to get cash rich, so that they can make a move when the market goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just cyclical shit. Nothing like that we should be like.
Yeah, no, it goes in cycles.
But it is what it is, right?
Absolutely.
So if I'm a guy like KD, right, and it wasn't imperative for me to get an apartment anytime soon, I was just looking for investment. I keep my shit cash, and then I go crazy. I go ham in 18 months when the shit hit the bed or shit hits the fan, whatever it is.
But it was imperative to him to get to New York very soon.
But why buy now?
You know why.
To have it ready for you?
Why would you buy? Why don't you rent?
So
I will teach you to be rich, KD. You should read that book. Buying a house, not the greatest investment.
Is that what they say in the book?
A lot of financial people
I had a guy tell me
Yeah, a lot of people told me that.
It's not like if you took the down payment you would need to buy a house and you put it in the market.
You get 10% a year?
The average return, factoring in depressions, recessions, everything from the market, stocks is 8% a year.
Yeah.
Average. Housing's not going to go up that much. And you don't got to worry about the fucking stress of fixing this or fixing that. Like, it's not always a great real estate investment is a great real estate investment. A great stock investment is a great stock. But generally speaking, the immigrant mentality for sure is save up, buy a house. Why would you waste your money on rent when you could put that toward a mortgage, blah, blah, blah. Not necessarily that simple. Also, real quick.
But the difference about those two is that like you're making a choice about the investment, right?
What do you mean?
So like
yes.
In that world, it's one or the other.
Right.
But it can't be one or the other, meaning choosing stocks or choosing real estate because you still need a place to live.
Yes.
So some people would be like, okay, maybe you're making the same amount, but you're also saving because you're not also paying rent.
So the idea is I'm taking my rent and putting it towards something that I own, like a mortgage.
Right.
But New York is an outlier. I don't know how New York works, but what they say is housing prices, the way like housing property values go up, on average, barely outpaces inflation. So like a lot of people are saying, take that down payment, put it in stocks, and then pay the rent. Fine, you're not putting it toward a mortgage, but like this 100,000 or whatever you would need to buy a house that you just put in stocks, that's going to go up much faster than property value would. So any money you're paying in rent, you're still going to make more in the long
I
run.
didn't even factor in down payment. You already have the 100, or whatever it is. So
put that in stocks and then let that
you
grow.
end up paying rent anyway or mortgage regardless outside of down payment.
The one financial tip I can give to any asshole is save now, and then when a recession hits, that's when you invest.
What is the term? when blood is on the streets, buy or something?
I believe it. But yeah, that's
There's
like
some savage
it's one of those
term.
things that seems so fucking logical.
Yeah.
What is the term? When blood is on the streets, buy property. Yeah.
Buy property where the blood is. Real talk. That's where the fucking move. And that's like
Where do you think they put stadiums?
Oh, bro, that's
In the middle of gang war.
That's a great
Like they can't wait for a,
And then they just
lacrosse
gentrify
team
everything
to
around it.
go to Chicago.
Yeah, gentrify. And that's like, it makes so much sense in theory, but when there's a recession, everybody sees their investments going down. They're like,
They're
oh,
freaking
fuck,
out,
take your money out. Bro, fight that if you can. And if you have money that you don't need to live off of, they're like, this is extra, invest it at that moment.
Yeah.
When everybody's panicking and pulling out money, that's when you're like, oh, everything is low, let me put my money back in.
Yeah.
Because this shit would just, unless America completely fails, which I guess is possible, but unless America completely fails and then we all got bigger problems, it will bounce back.
God,
it
we're
just
so
always
spoiled.
has.
Like, imagine those people in countries that save their whole life to like start a fucking laundromat business.
Yeah.
And the second they started it, like machete wielding refugees just took over the country.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
Like,
no,
it's
it's a coup
ours now.
Yeah. Like, dude, I just started laundromatting. Like, fuck, that's a reality out there, man.
Yeah.
But the
Whoa.
real way to think about money is if motherfuckers are wielding machetes, how do I make money off the blood of these machetes? Patrice had a great bit about how like there's like, if I really understood money, there's people that like when bad shit happens, they start like jerking
Getting
off.
horny. Yeah.
It's like
Like-
Tony Stark, bro. That's how he got rich.
Facts.
Sold all his weapons to the war, to the terrorists and stuff, and then they kidnapped him, and then, you know, got a heart of gold, and then boom, came Iron Man.
It's true.
Man.
Yeah.
Comics in real life.
Get a heart after you rich.
That's how it works.
So
It's hard to have a heart poor.
as a player, if you go to a private doctor,
Yeah.
but not the team doctor, do they still have to disclose exactly everything that's going on?
Not necessarily.
To the
no,
team?
it's a Hippocratic oath.
Yeah.
They don't
That's
gotta
a
tell
good
the team.
question. I don't think they do.
Because my theory is that I think KD is very hurt. Like, the way he plays is going to be affected probably for the rest of his career.
Wow.
Oh.
Interesting.
And so to leak the news of, oh, he just bought property now in New York is just to get New York so fucking hyped that we're just like on the sauce and we're just like, yeah, let's get him. Instead of thinking about like, wait a minute, is he still KD?
Interesting theory.
You think he
Interesting
tore his
theory.
Achilles?
I don't know if that bad, but I think it's something that
Because Achilles is the only thing I could see that would affect you for your career. And if he tore his Achilles, he might not ever be the same.
No.
And
And
that's
he
a
wasn't
fact.
walking like he tore his Achilles.
Didn't
It's
take
not a
his,
tore
didn't,
Achilles.
didn't tear his Achilles. I know
They
that.
they would have found that out in the X-ray.
And I'm
teams was running that.
definitely no doctor, but like, I don't know what else it could be that would affect you forever. Even like a severe strain is like months, and
Yeah.
then whatever.
I don't know. I just think it just seems like it's worse than what they're letting.
I
when
think it
people
is
hear the
worse
word
than,
strain-
but I don't think it's. Yeah,
When
I don't
people
think
hear
it's
the
a
word
killer
strain, they think it's like day to day. They think it's like, oh, he'll be out like a couple weeks, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Akash is right. I think it was like a grade 2 or grade 3 strain that'll probably take like a month or two
Yeah.
to really recover from. And like, I think gun to his head, if he had to play today, he probably could. But why would you? If like you're 60%.
If he's like 60% and I'm the Raptors, I pray he plays.
Yeah,
he doesn't
exactly.
know how to play at 60%, and just put Kawhi on him or Pascal on him, whatever, and then you got two lockdown guys.
Like if it was LeBron
put a
James
bomb on
and
him.
like he had the same injury and he knows that they can't win without him, I think 60% LeBron, like you take 60% LeBron over no LeBron.
60% LeBron still knows how to operate at 60%
Exactly.
because he's a passer.
Exactly.
Like,
You don't
KD
get
not the
affect
same
the game
passer.
different.
You don't need 60% KD, especially when the Warriors are fucking cooking without you.
Yeah.
You know, so I could see why. I don't think it's an Achilles strain, but I do think it's a little bit more severe strain than a grade 1.
All right, let's talk about the LeBron James thing.
Bronny.
Wilding out.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, but before that, what was Bron doing?
Oh, baby Bron?
Yeah.
Ronnie, his IG
Oh,
video?
he's talking about these
Yeah.
hoes?
What was he saying?
Well, he had a great
Man,
quote.
I don't
Hold
know.
Didn't he
on.
have an African accent or some shit?
Yes.
I didn't understand
What
what was
was it?
going on.
Yeah, I didn't get
I think he was on Instagram Live.
I don't know if
and
we old,
somebody
but-
must have recorded it. And he was just like changing voices. I'm trying to pull this up right now, and I'll play it for the.
We don't have to talk over, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's Instagram. It's not like-
Yeah, you still gotta talk over. Still talk over.
Still talk over? Okay.
She has a pretty face.
I don't get the accent.
Not me. She has pretty hot.
What the fuck is that?
These bitches don't give a fuck.
See, I didn't get it.
I
didn't know what he was doing.
Nigga hard before they even give you.
And you know what though? He's
We're
just he's a 14-year-old too. So like, first of all, we don't get it, but also they're not funny.
Yeah, but I'm sure other kids found that funny. Like that stupid ass dance.
Yeah, yo,
Whoa,
let me say this about Bronny: great teeth. This fucking kid got great teeth. Holy shit!
Oh, I never noticed this.
Yo, you watch that video. Act like his teeth ain't fucking perfect, dog. How my man ain't had Invisalign or nothing.
I had no idea what he was. I thought he was quoting a movie or some shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm like, is this like some TV show I don't watch? That
How old is he again?
14.
he's 14. He starts high
That
school
sounds
next
like a
year.
14-year-old thing to do.
Yeah.
Go on live, you do wild shit, and you think you're the man.
Talk a lot of nonsense.
Yeah,
Think it's funny.
He's still a 14-year-old, no matter who he is, whoever's son he is.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna do dumb
Yeah.
shit.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. It kind of worries me though.
Why?
I know if there's anybody.
You saw he had a white cleaning lady that was a man?
Hell yeah.
That shit is
That's
well
the
that's,
goals,
that's, the,
nigga.
that's the power move
Forrest
from
Gump.
LeBron.
That's goals, mother niggas.
I-
Yo, listen, are you kidding me? When I get rich, you think
That is the power
you
move.
think my help is gonna be black?
That's some militant shit.
No, bro.
You know LeBron low-key militant as fuck? That's some militant
yeah.
shit.
Serve me, white man.
Yeah, 100%.
That's what Bubba Gump's mom did.
Facts.
You don't remember that?
I remember. I think I remember. But it's weird, bro. Like, you know, him and Zaire Wade, Dwayne Wade's son, they're both going to the same high school. I think Sierra Canyon in LA or California. And dog.
Taco Tuesday.
Somebody's
Yo,
gonna,
LeBron's hair looks so good.
yeah, he's
now-
not stressed.
Now he got that transplant, fam.
Yeah, but he's been transplanting for the last fucking 10 years. Finally, it's kind of set in. I think that he's been playing so much. Every year, there's been no break. Now he has a little bit break, and he can let the hair actually
Like, bro,
set
what
in.
are you gonna do for your first offseason in 16 years?
Get hair.
Gonna get some fucking hair.
That's why he lost, bro.
His
I
shit
really
was on
think.
the brink in Miami, bro.
Fam.
Like, remember his headbands was like way fucking back here and
So
shit.
funny.
Like,
Hell yeah.
his shit was on the brink back in the day. Whatever he's done,
Baby black.
like
He's killing
share,
it. I haven't seen him wear a do-rag.
Share the recipe, bro.
All right, so
Share the fucking recipe.
so what are we
is all
thinking
I
about
know.
this? Why is this such a big deal?
It's
that he's
weird,
saying
bro.
Taco
Like,
Tuesday?
I feel like, you know, obviously, you know, high school sports have been, you know, blown up ever since LeBron. Like, LeBron's the guy who made high school sports like mainstream. Like, we watch it on ESPN, whatever. And like, this kid going into high school, like declaring what high school he's going to is news. So you know, eventually they're gonna stream those games. Like, he's gonna be
So he's about to be a freshman.
freshman.
So, he was in middle school.
He's in middle school, yeah.
Oh, so
he's
will he
joining-
start on the senior team freshman year?
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. I think he should.
Is he good enough?
He's very good. He's very good.
Is Zaire
Zaire's a highly touted prospect. He's,
how old?
I want to say 16. He's a little older than LeBron. I think he's like 2 years older. He
So
might be
will
going to
Zaire
junior.
play for a major team, a major
Yeah.
college
Yeah,
team?
he's definitely gonna go high D1.
Really?
Definitely gonna go high D1. Yeah.
And then
I think
what
he's
is-
he's a top 50 prospect, the top 100 right now.
Okay, and then what is the scouting report on Bronny
Bronny,
Jr.?
still too young to really tell, but like he's definitely, you know, he's I think he's gonna grow a little bit more. But as a point guard, he looks really good. He's really athletic. He's dunking now. He's got a little jump shot. Plays like his dad a little bit, but he's just not as big as his dad
He
was.
doesn't
at
have
the
the
same
sheer
age.
physicality.
Yeah, and you know, obviously he's still 14 years old. Like
Right.
by the time he hits 17, he might shoot up to 6'9", 6'8", who fucking knows? But Zaire Wade has shot up already. He's already like, I think he's almost taller than his dad already. I think he's like 6'5".
Oh, so he's
6'5",
got
6'6".
legit height.
Yeah, like he's a baller too. Like he's really good. So I'm saying like this, like yo, in the middle of the fall, like would you rather watch like Pelicans Knicks, or would you watch like Bron and Wade's kid against like some 14-year-olds
I'll
and
be
just watch them
honest with you.
steamroll through some kids? Like
I might have interest watching LeBron or Wade's kid.
yeah.
I don't have any interest in watching the average high school player.
But I wanna watch
Sometimes on
them.
MSG,
Yeah.
you have these like high school games that pop up. You know, there's a PSAL tournament
Mm-hmm.
or some shit, and it's just unwatchable for me. I barely like college basketball. I definitely don't like high school basketball. But
I
if
watch some All-American games.
I don't even like them shits. If there's legacy involved, okay.
Yeah.
But without legacy or without major hype train, like
What do you
what's
mean
his-
legacy? Like as far as like like Zion hype or like Lonzo Ball hype or whatever. Okay.
And legacy, I mean like LeBron's kid. Like there's a
Right.
legacy. But I will say this though, which is, and it maybe brings us into an interesting conversation, is that when they remove the one and done rule, you have no superstars in college. When they remove the one and done rule, there might be a massive interest in high school basketball because the hype machine, it will benefit the NBA if the hype machine starts in high school.
Of course.
So if I'm the NBA and I'm removing one and done, I go, hey, AAUs, all these tournaments, all these whatever, as the NBA, we would like to inject some cash into these tournaments. We'd like to provide television rights. We'd like to do everything we can so that you can market the players that will be the rookies in our league next year. In the same way that they had a handshake agreement with the NCAA, which was, build up these guys that are coming to the league next year. We'll give you 1 year to do it. You make some money. We don't have to make people famous. So I think the NCAA could essentially get cut out, and then high school basketball could become very popular. I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
But I think high school basketball could become very popular.
It's already getting there, man. I remember like 2
but
years
not high
ago.
schools. If they're smart.
Oh, like actual high schools. You're right.
No,
right.
not high schools. I think if they're smart, they make the AAU shit popular.
That's what they did. I
That
remember
would
2
be-
years ago, Facebook Watch, they streamed, it was an AAU game between Zion's
Zion
AAU team and LaMelo Ball's.
yeah.
And it did like 15, like some stupid number,
Yep.
like 40 million on Facebook or some shit like that. And granted, those are two like mega stars in high school.
That will be the new NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Once we get rid of one and done and 18-year-olds are going into the league, I think the new NCAA tournament will be these high school AAU tournaments. They could do them, 3 times a year, 4 times a year, different parts of the country. And you just have the best high school players in the league. And the NBA loves it because all of a sudden they're famous. They're playing against high school kids, so you're going to see them dominate.
Yeah, and it's AAU, so like they're grabbing the best players from around the
That's
country.
it.
It's
It's
not
already
like
done.
high school where it's like you got 1 or 2 good players and the rest are like
It ain't
ask
even
you
like
this.
college. Sorry, it ain't even like college where you have 2 good players and the rest are bums.
Yeah.
You're literally these AAU teams, the starting 5 all
go high D1.
legit.
Yeah, it's almost like mini All-American games.
Boom.
So
The one difference is you always, and maybe it's just propaganda, but you always hear college really helps players develop as whatever, and then you always hear AAU ruins these kids' games.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's
Tell
what
me-
you hear.
Tell
And
me
maybe
that. I
that's
didn't
just
know
some
that.
middle
Tell me that.
America
Tell me
white
that.
people shit, but it's like a lot of these kids that should be role players are on these AAU teams playing like stars, and then they think they're stars, and then they go to the pros, and they don't develop. Like if you could look at this guy and say, hey, you're a 3-point shooter in the NBA, this is what you project out to. Sit there in that 3-point, or behind the 3-point line and learn to shoot, like whatever. That's what you do.
I think the tricky part about that is, Akash, that every kid that gets signed to an NCAA D1 team is the superstar of their high school team.
Yeah.
So it's like they're
And I
not
guess-
learning how to be a role player. And I guess you're saying that when they're in college, they start realizing how much real talent they have.
Yeah.
So then the role
I start
ends up
getting there
saying.
because you're not even the best player on your own team anymore.
So then one argument might be if these AAU teams exist, there'll actually be less of them than there are college teams. So at a younger age, they'll realize where they fit into a system.
Potentially.
But
Or
it could also stunt a player's growth.
the NBA could also potentially be like, hey, let's just have some of our guys coach AAU teams. Because my thinking is that high school could replace you. That could be right. Or the G League. Like, I think Adam Silver cares a lot about the players. I think he also thinks, you know what? We got this G League. Let's just let them come straight into the league and they can go play in the G League. And now the G League takes NCAA money.
Well, I think the G League happens to be a better assessment of talent, right? Because it's easy
Also that.
to like play in a weak division and play against these fresh out of high school kids. When you're playing against guys who have been in the NBA for a few years in and out,
Yeah.
you really see where your talent assessment is.
Yeah.
You can't just bully these people on size. If you're a 6'10" athlete in college, you can average 15 points a game.
Yeah.
You can get 15 points a game just off of sheer size.
Playing children.
You're playing against kids. And then in the tournament, maybe shit changes a little bit. But if you have size and athleticism, a William Cauley-Stein can get layups whenever he wants, putbacks, etc. And then he gets in the league, and now you're a rebounder.
And and I'm not. And if G League,
But
you're
you
not
could
even
eventually
playing.
grow up. You could eventually evolve into something more than just a
Of course.
rebounder.
No, I'm not saying they can't. All I'm saying is someone who doesn't can still be effective at the college level.
But when they're less likely to miss on the talent because you have a more realistic assessment of how he.
So
does
is the more realistic scenario like, okay, we got the G League here, and you got journeyman NBA players on these teams. You got guys coming fresh out of high school. If they cook those guys, then they get called up to the league.
Think about how perfect it is.
Yeah,
that's your sparring partner.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? That's your tune-up
Could you
fights.
imagine? Like, could you imagine how fucking? And granted, you can say this for the NBA, but can you imagine how much fucking G League games with Zion would go for if he's playing in one game and he kills? Like, yep, bring him up,
son. You draft 1,000%. Let's say these AAU, you cut college right out the fucking equation.
All you gotta do is watch those summer league games.
Yeah.
And no one would feel bad except people who went to a college and want to root for that team.
Yes.
And you can still go to a college.
And check it. Those people that go to the college are still going to root for that team. It will just be a more city-based fandom, right? It won't be like UNC versus Duke is this like national game that everybody gives a fuck about. It's like, no, why don't Chapel Hill? You could just care about that, or Raleigh, wherever the fuck they're playing. You guys care about it. It can still be as big as it possibly is, but it doesn't have to be Mardi Gras.
And the NCAA played themselves.
They did. They could have just paid them.
Treated their players better the whole time. Players would have incentive to go there.
It is the classic example of capitalism, right?
Dude, what is the Mark Cuban thing I quoted?
What is pigs get fat?
Yeah, hogs. Like when pigs get fat, they become hogs, and hogs get slaughtered.
Hogs get slaughtered. Simple as that.
Yeah.
It is, and it's what's happening with TV right now. It's like you had a finite amount of channels that you could watch, so we just accepted anything you put on.
Yeah.
And now the internet came out, and there's a lot of other things to watch, and it's like, well, I ain't gonna watch that bullshit.
Yeah.
So. Perfect example, AAU things blossom. High school basketball is kind of fun, but you end up really caring about your AAU team. It actually almost mirrors like soccer in Europe, right? You have a club team, that's your AAU. You get involved in that AAU system really early. If we really want to get organized with it, that AAU team starts at 10.
Yep.
You keep on filtering up through the AAUs.
Like the Knicks would have an AAU team. We're signing this guy.
If you want to go that far,
Well,
with
they already
it,
have
you
the
could
junior-
go
That
far
is how
They already
soccer
have the
works. That's how
junior
kick
NBA.
football works. Is they have you have like an entire system. We're bringing this guy up. Like Messi had been groomed
Sure.
to become great.
100%. And guess what? You don't have to worry about signing someone because they're not going to college.
Right.
Yeah, they're already in
The
system.
only issue with being signed is you're uneligible to play college ball.
Right.
Well, you ain't going to play college ball, so I'll sign you at 11.
Yeah.
And I can sign you for nothing at 11. Now your family, who desperately needs some help, gets
So
some
you
help.
read?
You might not make it into the league, but you weren't going to make it anyway. Now your family got help.
Yeah, and if you love books that much, they can pay you. You could take that money and go to your own fucking classes.
Go to
in the
CUNY,
summertime, bro. Like,
you
really need that degree that bad? Here, we'll pay you enough to go and fucking go take some classes in the summertime.
Hey, I
But
like it. You
we're
take
paying
your
you,
second
but-
round draft picks. You have them going, you know what? These kids are a little weak still. I want them to build up. Do a year in the G League. You end up balling.
They already send them overseas. They really especially if they get drafted overseas. A lot of times their rights just stay over there. Why doesn't the NBA have a system like that
They
here?
do,
where
G
they're
League.
Like,
And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
G League is the thing, and baseball.
And we'll watch the fucking G League
I'll watch it.
because we've been watching these AAU tournaments for a minute.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this is actually a really good system because you know what happens in the AAU tournament? You have what is no longer happening in college basketball. College basketball, you used to have guys stay at least, let's say, 3 years, right? 2-3 years, right? So that means you had 3 years of promo for an athlete coming out.
Yeah.
Now it's just 1 year, right?
Yeah.
AAU, you have a high school AAU team. Yeah. That means you could have anybody from 14 to 18. So now you're going to have a Bronny Jr. who's been playing on the AAU team in front of TV for 4 years of promo, right? That's 4 years. You're ready. So now when I watch that G League team, I'm going to see Bronny. Maybe Bronny goes right to league, but I'm going to see a bunch of Bronny's teammates that I've been watching for 4 years in these AAU tournaments, and I'm going to go, oh, these guys are familiar. It's not random names on the back of a jersey.
These are guys that I know.
These are guys that I know. These are guys I've seen and shit. And you know what? They're getting commercial deals because they don't got to worry about college.
gonna
They're
happen.
doing Sprite shit.
Yeah.
They getting paid. I think this is the best possible scenario.
And that's the
Give it 5 years. It's going to
Nike
happen.
gives the AAU.
Two things.
Yeah.
So now you see there's like some traction with NCAA playing players. You saw that, right?
I don't know what he just said.
I'm sorry. I
got some
stumbled on
traction
it.
the NCAA is considering paying players.
Paying players.
Paying
Sorry.
players.
Yeah.
And then also
Not paying them, but letting them make money on their likeness. I think it
likeness.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is what we said. Another thing. Anyway.
And then also with that league that you guys are talking about, do you ever see it having the viewership that college gets, because that college sports, the people who watch that shit, they're just like, oh, I'm just rooting for my tribe type shit.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't, because right now you don't watch
The
AAU,
casual
you
fans
don't watch G League.
The casual fans will come over.
They're not gonna, I don't think they're going to watch the everyday game. I think they're going to watch the tournaments, and that the tournaments will be just as intriguing and interesting and exciting as they can market them. But tournaments are always exciting because we watch poker tournaments.
Yeah, but right now, are you watching G League playoffs?
No. You're not understanding, right? Okay. So it's like, we're not watching anybody in the G League because we don't know the names of the people in the G League, right? Okay. But if you watch the AAU teams, right, and you've watched the AAU teams for 4 years, and you followed some of these guys because some freshmen from 4 years end up in the G League, now there's not some guy named Johnson on the back of his jersey. Now it's Daniels that you saw playing for 4 years. So when you recognize people, then you go watch them. It's the same reason why we'll go watch Summer League.
So his point is valid in that there is no way to mimic in a G League system March Madness. Yeah. There's just not going to be enough teams. You can't have like the madness aspect of like any upset could happen. These weeks are crazy. But other than that, it's not going to impact.
Yeah, but G League isn't the one that I think is going to pop the most. I think the AAU tournaments will pop more.
Why?
I don't care because G League is insignificant because G League is still professional. Right? G League is a lower tier professional tournament. Lower tier professional is never going to succeed more than higher tier professional. But AAU is not professional. Right? So AAU, it's like the Little League World Series. That shit slaps.
You know what's crazy?
It is weirdly big.
It's me putting my fucking tinfoil hat back on, bro. What? Outlets like Slam and Overtime that like do specifically high school sports are going to get all over this. And if it does pop off, like where, people are just broadcasting AAU games and high school games, it's going to be Overtime. And you know who's an investor in Overtime, right?
LeBron? Who?
KD, 35 Ventures.
There we go.
He's the founder. So I mean, if you're looking to pop off a media conglomerate, like if we're not the only people thinking about this, right? If you're looking to pop off a media conglomerate, where are you looking to pop it off in?
New York.
New York City. And if high school sports and fucking amateurism is about to blow up, and kids are about to start getting paid, and you have the rights to fucking broadcast all these fucking games and broadcast all these AAU teams.
Go to Brooklyn.
Your NBA, your
nice,
NBA money might be
healthy organization, got good players around you, get all the media benefits in New York.
Listen, your NBA money, if this scales the way it should scale, where you literally have the alternative to the NCAA, you're looked at as a hero. You got these kids paid. You've done what these people have been trying to do for the past 60, 70 years, is get these kids fucking paid. The NBA money that KD might make if Overtime gets the rights to these high school games might be fucking chump change.
Yeah. But it's got to be the right to the tournament. I don't think we care about the average high school game.
Yeah.
I think we care about these AAU tournaments because it allows us to predict the future. And I think that we need to start identifying AAU teams with regions, right? And then you get some of that like New York fervent support, right? I'm a Knicks fan. Knicks suck. I got no college that I can root for. I have nothing that I can root for. But all of a sudden,
good AAU team.
My Knicks AAU team is popping.
The Knicks development system is, look what we got coming in the pipeline.
It's all these young kids from the city.
Son, young kids making money is sick.
It is.
That's going to be scary.
And
imagine
young New Yorkers
on Instagram.
We got
New Yorkers making money.
My thing is like, we got so many child movie stars. Like the fucking Olsen's went to fucking billionaires before they were 13 years old.
Look
you
at them,
tell me
strung out.
Like,
they're looking crazy. But,
that's true. But
tennis players, you got them young tennis players, the young golfers making money.
Swimmers, Olympians, all that shit. Gymnasts. Motherfuckers are millionaires before they even reach high school.
Yo, if New York had an AAU team that was dope, like, and I could really get behind it, I would absolutely support my local AAU team. That would be sick.
Absolutely.
Knicks suck. We got one team.
The junior Knicks.
Yo, the real talk. Don't even call them the Knicks. Call them nothing to do with that shit. Dude, that would be amazing. Yeah, the
fucking Von
bunch
Knicks,
of John
bro.
Stocktons.
God damn.
Do we want to talk finals before we get to captain questions or not?
Yeah, sure.
that's tonight, bro.
It's on finals.
Let's do it. I gotta use the bathroom real quick, but y'all go.
All right, bro. Let's go for it, man. Let's just get to it since the game want to be decided by the time we go live.
Yep.
Who do you got taking the series? Let's just get right into it.
Let me ask you this question out of curiosity. Did Toronto win any of their game ones? I know they lost to Orlando. I know they lost to Milwaukee. I don't remember Philly.
They split the first two. I didn't. If you could check that, I'm pretty sure they split the first two at Philly.
Toronto did win game 1.
There you go.
I was gonna say game 1 doesn't matter at all for them, but I guess it does a little bit. But I don't discount them winning even if they lose tonight.
Yeah.
I think they seem to just bounce. Like once they kind of figure it out, once Kawhi kind of figures it out, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. Now let's go. I don't feel super confident in it just because how the Warriors have been playing, but I'm still picking the Raptors.
You're picking the Raptors? So here's the thing. I've been saying Raptors in 6 for the past couple days. I've been warming myself up to it. And I'm seeing too many people starting to say Raptors in 6 now. So now I kind of want to backtrack. I got the Warriors in 5, bro.
You think it's light work?
I got the Warriors in 5.
Even with that,
bro.
now my self-doubt of the sweep has been coming in. No lie.
Yeah.
Only because I feel like the Warriors have now cooled off.
We also bullied you into a bold claim.
I'm still taking.
I really
I'm
forced
still
the
thinking
issue.
it's not going to 7 games.
I think it's...
Still makes that dumbass comment, and I'm
Right.
still gonna say Warriors.
That's not
is boring.
dumbass. It's just not that bold. Like you said it like you were dropping some shit.
Oh no!
And it was just like, bro, that's a very...
I have no bass
Not
in
a lot
my
of
voice.
serious
I have
people
to make
second
it sound
game.
like it was some
very
shit.
lukewarm take.
But now I have doubt again because the Warriors did cool off.
You think the long break hurt? Alex don't agree.
Still sweep.
Sweep.
Still sweep.
Sweep?
Yep.
My
Still
gosh.
sweep.
That is a point though.
They're
Game
gonna-
1.
They're gonna light them up. So what? Kawhi's gonna get off. I don't think anybody else steps up.
Yeah, that's my thing.
And right now, Green has his little girl and his mom making him happy and shit like that. He's balling, and I think the 2 Splash Brothers are gonna be balling. I think it's sweet.
I got
Easy.
Warriors in 5. Warriors take game 1. Raptors take game 2. Warriors take both at home. Win it in Toronto. Draymond Green's your MVP.
Was Toronto outside of the hotel all night last night? We haven't seen that story yet, have we?
Listen, if
Toronto, y'all fucking up if you're not doing that.
Listen,
every day.
The Warriors are fucking up if they're not in some fucking high-rise hotel. They're not in some six-story
Bro,
hotel.
get in the motherfucking lobby. Do whatever you gotta do. But yo, real talk. Rent rooms on every floor and just have parties in one room on every floor.
Watch Drake is gonna make a back-to-back song for the Warriors and just
Yo.
play it above them.
That's the only thing That's the only thing I'm looking forward to.
He did that with Meek, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He made back-to-back and then he blasted it in the hotel. Oh yeah.
He said on Summer 16. I forgot the actual lyric, but he said we let the disc record drop overnight. We was sitting right below me, nigga.
Yeah.
Played it again and again.
He should,
Something
do
like,
that blasted in the hotel. That would be a move.
Hey, bro.
I fucking hate Drake right now, but that
Let
would
me
be
tell you, man, it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 p.m.
Why you hate Drake?
There's still no Drake record that dropped.
Cardi shit on the sideline. I just hate it.
I thought you said it was planned. I thought you said we were dumb and he's
No,
playing
I
it.
know. I still dislike it. He's playing you guys and people are falling for it. So that's why I don't like it.
Well, here's my thing.
He ain't even trying to be corny though. He's trying to
That's
be
just
silly.
him, bro.
I'm telling you,
Him and Steph, he
trying to
is
be
rap
corny.
Steph Curry. That's what's interesting about this series to me.
You guys are bugging. You don't know Drake.
They're both
Drake is a stone cold killer.
So is Steph, fam.
Nah.
In the guise of a light-skinned fucking cornball, half V N-word, just fucking...
Nah.
Huh?
Steph is really soft.
I don't know who rap Jay
I
probably.
think stuff is soft.
He's not.
I think stuff is soft. This
Not
is,
like that serial killer mentality.
Listen,
I
the
don't think
greatest trick light skinned people ever pulled on y'all was thinking Steph Curry was soft, bro. Steph Curry is a stoned cold, evil fucking killer, my
Who's more
G.
evil, Steph or Drake?
Steph by far.
Get the fuck
Steph
outta
by
here.
far.
I think Drake has got people
Steph will
killed.
see y'all. I'm sure he's had people
I
killed.
heard a
but
story.
whatever.
I gotta give it up to Drake. I heard this story. One time he's talking to like this. We're talking at a club, and then this girl literally comes in between Drake and the other person and gets in Drake's face, starts jawing at him. And then if the girl, right this close where the mic is, and the girl's right here and Drake's right here, he just looks away for a second, and then he does this. and then a bouncer comes and grips the girl out of fucking nowhere, and then just drags her off.
See?
Which is G shit. I'm not gonna front.
Steph ain't doing that. Son.
Listen, but
Steph's doing that
Steph
shit.
is gonna take a picture with her.
Steph
and
cheating
shit.
on his girl. Everybody thinks he's not. I mean, come on. Steph wild,
My
dog.
thing is this.
Cheat on your girls like
We're seeing
They're both bitches in the same way. If Steph stole a song from Diddy and Diddy
Jokes.
punched Steph, he'd go to the hospital. Same shit. They're the same fucking person.
we're discussing who's more evil, Steph Curry or Drake. I said Steph Curry's more evil.
I say they're the same person, just different industries.
But in
Why-
similar,
why-
in similar
why
ways.
is,
Similar ways.
Steph more evil?
Because Alex had things he called Steph Curry soft. I'm like, yo, the greatest trick light skinned people ever pulled was thinking Steph Curry was soft. Steph Curry's an
You know who's
evil
the lightest
motherfucker,
of
bro.
light skin?
Who?
The vanillas.
The VN words, as we call
We're
them.
the light skins of light skins.
Well, they're both half. That's what I said.
Half of it makes a whole.
I'm talking about who's the most evil.
No,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
this is
yeah,
true.
yeah, that's a good point.
The VN words are the most
Yeah.
evil of the two. So.
Okay, so all right, so you think that Steph is?
I think Steph is more evil, bro.
I think
like
Drake
Steph is. Well, I'm sure Drake's had.
I'm
people.
gonna be honest. I think neither of them are evil. I'm dead ass. I really don't.
See, that's what pissed me off about
Nah,
Drake.
you see-
Motherfuckers fall for that bullshit.
How is he
Why?
evil?
Why? Because he light
He's
skinned.
evil, legit like a sorority girl is evil.
This is light skin bias, bro.
Like, I'm gonna,
what is he
I'm gonna
doing
play
that's
your
evil?
song in the room
I mean,
above
like,
your
as far as,
hotel.
like-
Drake ain't fighting nobody.
Son, he got goons.
The one fight
got
story I heard
hella
about Drake
fucking
is that
goons.
Diddy
Yo,
sent him to the hospital
Drake
for
got,
one punch.
Drake got a million. Like Drake,
we got
Drake
hella
has
fucking-
absolutely.
Yo.
I can 100% confirm.
I got-
Drake has had people touched.
Oh no, for sure.
That's
for sure.
for sure.
And has Steph had
Wait a
anybody
minute, who do you have
touch?
touched?
Huh?
Drop some hot shit on the Patreon. I almost jumped over that.
I don't know, bro.
You can't talk about that.
Nah.
All right,
tell you something, if
Let me
I
talk
had-
about one thing. I want to bring
There's
up
a
one
lot
notion.
of there's a lot of rappers out there that we haven't heard from since they've said things about Drake.
Are you willing to talk about it?
It's the Patreon. Who keeps it tighter than the patrons?
I can confirm.
Keep it tight, patrons.
Y'all know. All right. Okay. All right. There was a story that I heard. No, I'm pretty sure this happened because too many people said the same story.
All right.
Drum. If y'all remember Drum.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a song, the Cha Cha. I like the Cha Cha. Yeah. Right. A couple of weeks later, Hotline Bling comes out. Right. Drum felt away about it. He was at a party at Drake's house of all places. A little bit under the influence of many things, goes up to Drake. Pretty much is like, yo, man, you did this, did that, like gets in his face.
You took my song.
Yeah, and according to dozens of eyewitnesses, suffered one of the most epic stomp outs I've ever seen inside this man's house. Like, and that's the story. That
like
I wasn't
cha-cha,
there.
huh?
I like, yeah, like he got cha-cha.
A lot of this cha-cha.
I mean, it's a story.
I bet Drake
Now
played the
slide.
song.
Now again,
Stomp on him again.
Now again, I was not there, but according to several dozen eyewitnesses I'm very close with that saw this in action, Drake has. I can confirm Drake has had people
Can I,
touched.
can I tell
That's
you
the whole
what's
story.
unimpressive to me about that? If I had any power, I would just have people beat the shit out of people for me.
Yeah.
Because I can't fight and because I'm a bitch. That don't make me a killer. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
it
that
does.
just means I got
Yes, it
friends
does.
who
You
are
still-
killers.
you
It
gotta
still
send
makes
the
you a
order.
killer, bro.
You still got to send the order.
Yeah.
Bro, then I'm just a killer waiting to get a little more famous. I'll have a bunch of people killed.
I don't need to touch
Maybe.
nobody.
Maybe.
If you're Drake rich, bro, like you just get the phone call like, oh, it's done.
Right.
Like, you're rich and you're on fucking Ellen whenever you feel like being there. Like you're super famous. Like you cannot get your hands dirty. Like those type of people, like I'm sure Jay still has people touched.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like when you're that rich,
You
bro,
see
like you hear
Kanye
some
don't
shit, like-
send the killers
Jay
after
talked
me.
about
Like that's
stabbing a
real.
motherfucker on the record of
no,
the
no.
hat you're wearing on that album.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jay absolutely stabbed Lance on Rivera. Like,
that was
he
a
went to jail
legit
for
thing
that.
that
Like that's the
happened.
thing that happened. It wasn't him talking
But
about
that,
it.
he's
He-
another. He's a
But he didn't go to
killer.
jail for it.
But,
Someone
but
else.
Nah, he
you
was
see the
for sure
difference?
arrested for
Jay
that.
did it. Jay didn't
But his
have
boy went
somebody
to
do it.
jail for it.
I think so, but he was
No, his boy's locked up
yeah,
for it.
No, not now. Not
not now.
anymore. But-
Anymore, but that's
Nah,
what
but
happened.
he took the rap
Nah,
for it
Emery-
because
that was
Jay
some
was
shit.
the money
Yeah.
maker. Yeah,
That was some shit that happened
That's
with
what
Emery
you're
a while ago.
But you understand the difference between Jay stabbing somebody and Jay having someone stab
But this is
somebody.
1999.
I don't think anybody denies what you're saying, Akash, which is like doing the thing is harder than telling someone
That's
else
a
to do
killer.
it. Yes, but obviously you acknowledge you reach a certain level where you can't do
Sure,
it. So
sure.
the argument is,
1999 Jay.
if you weren't at that level, would you do it still?
I don't think Drake would.
Akash is saying Drake wouldn't, and there's other people who you believe would. Like 50 Cent, you probably believe would handle business on his own.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes. 50 did. And listen, I'm not saying.
All right, so this is this is an interesting discussion, right? Because Suge Knight gets all this, talk about how he's the most, thugged out dude, and he goes after all these guys, this, that, the other. But here's my thing. I think Don King is actually the most ruthless because
Oh, that's interesting.
he stole from the best fighters ever.
Dog, yeah.
Like Suge Knight is stealing from poets and like ballet dancers and like performing arts majors. You know what I mean? Like
He's stealing from killers too.
Suge Knight is out here stealing from ballerinas. Like real talk, Pac is a ballerina, right? So he's stealing from ballerinas.
Snoop was not a ballerina, bro.
You know what I mean? But he ain't steal from Snoop.
You on
keep it a buck.
Yo, you on
keep
that
it a
ledge
buck.
all by yourself?
Nah, keep it a buck. He didn't steal from Snoop.
I'm not coming there with you, bro.
Also, he hung vanilla. He hung my boy Vanilla Ice out the window. He ain't hang Snoop out the window. My man Don King stole from Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. You know how ballsy you gotta be to steal from the greatest assaulters on the planet?
Mike
like
Tyson
these guys are
the four greatest hands of all
finessed a bunch of dumb people.
That's a legend. And he's out there with the fucking American flag. He got his hair all ready. First of all, that's why Don King's hair is fucked up, is because he's ready for a fight. Like, Don King's hair look like he just got out of scrap.
Like, when you're nervous and your hair stands on your arm, like, that's
That's his hair. He's ready. Like,
You don't get
he
credit
want
for
the
that,
smoke.
man.
How he don't?
You don't
Are
think
you
it's
stealing
hard-
from Mike Tyson?
You don't think it's hard to finesse somebody who gets punched in the head repeatedly?
That's a valid point.
That's a valid
point. That's a good point. That's a valid point.
Nah, that's a good point.
Like, Mike Tyson probably didn't know where he was until about like 2008.
Mike Tyson got hit so hard, he goes, maybe towels do cost $2,000. I guess that's what they cost.
Strung out on
That's
coke
a
and
legend. That's a goon. That's the greatest goon in all history, bro.
Probably stand next to the second greatest goon.
Real talk.
Well, those are the two biggest goons.
Yo, that's Suge.
So
Real
that's,
talk.
That's why they get along.
Let me tell you
That's his
something.
homie, bro.
This is Suge Day. Don King and Suge Day, bro. Suge Knight got to do it in the dark too. You got to do it to poets and shit. This motherfucker out here on Main Street with 2 American flags, taking money out your pocket.
He Suge Bishop.
Real talk.
Suge Rook.
Oh, man. God damn.
I don't want no smoke, Suge. I'm just saying. I don't want no smoke. I'm
I
just
know
saying.
you
I'm about to
would.
say, I ain't
no,
coming
but
there
you
with you,
wild
bro.
out. You should apologize. Also, real shit, you should apologize about the Tupac comic because
Why?
The Mike
yo,
Tyson
their
literally just punched
fans
somebody.
are kind of crazy. Tupac fans, like the diehard motherfuckers, they're crazy.
Well, they know more than anything he's a ballerina.
Yeah, but you
He's not.
You're calling them
He ain't
soft
do
and shit.
ballet?
Son.
He ain't do ballet.
I ain't coming there with you, bro.
Listen, I'm gonna just say.
Y'all are
Son, no,
crazy.
people
I'm
still get
saying, if you
fucked up.
watch Thug Angel and you look at Young Pac, he very artsy.
Fam, was he not a backup dancer?
Son.
Was he not a backup dancer?
So there's a rumor, and I'm pretty sure it's true. Whack 100.
Yep, heard about that.
He got into a fight with Mike Tyson because
Man,
he's
that's
had
all-
smoke about
that's all
Tupac, and
fake.
Mike Tyson, that's his boy.
That's all fake, bro. Y'all didn't see the video that they posted? It's fake.
Really?
Yeah, Mike is swinging at the air and shit.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I
it's
see
fake.
that.
You
But
seen it?
I feel like
Pac
I
fought
believe
Mike
it.
Tyson?
No. Mike Tyson
The Shade
fought
Room
that
posted
guy,
it.
Whack 100, because
Whack was on Mike
saying
Tyson's podcast.
bad
Whack
stuff
was
about
allegedly talking spicy about
Tupac.
Tupac. And then there's a video out where it looks like Whack throws a punch at Mike, and then Mike just starts swinging in the air. And
Son, you want that Mike Tyson smoke, son?
first of all, no.
I still don't want the
But
Mike
that's
Tyson.
to his
That's
point
my
about
point.
Don King. But you just fed into his Don King point.
No. But I'm just saying, just for his comments about Tupac, he should apologize.
I'm saying if you had to shoot the fair one with Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, or Tupac Shakur, who you doing it?
Well,
Keep
probably
it
the one
100.
who's not
Tupac.
alive.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. What
I'll
age?
probably pick the one who's not alive, bro.
You know what I mean? They're all alive. They're all alive. Like, hypothetically, they're all alive.
Of course, Tupac.
I'm saying, that's all I'm saying. Like, so you Suge Knight, and you got to make a decision who you going to take money from, or who you going to do some shit with. Is it going to be the guy who has a murder charge already and is a known Crip gangbanger, right?
Suge had his goons rape easy, though. This is what I've heard and I believe.
Now we just talking too.
Easy 5-4.
We just talking way too much.
I was going there with him, bro.
Easy was a motherfucker. Easy. I'd take it with Easy. With Pac, I'd take it with Easy for sure. Easy was a fucking real one.
Easy was
the real one.
No, but he'll shoot you though.
The reason they could gangster rap is because Easy was the actual gangster. Like none of them were gangsters.
Easy couldn't rap.
Easy was the motherfucker that couldn't rap, but he was like, "Look, this is who I am."
He really lived that life. He was just talking about shit he was seeing, and they were like, "Oh, this is."
If you see Straight Outta
and Dr. Dre was a fucking magician, so it was like, "Oh, we can make that work and turn it into a hit record."
If you see Straight Outta Compton, what's the name of the song? Rolling on the Street in My 6'4".
Yeah.
That song was written by Cube for, I think, Cube or whatever, and then Easy, they were like, "Yo, this is you. Like, why don't you just rap it?" Easy couldn't even rap. They were like, "This is you. This is your day. Just smacking bitches. Like, that's you." Easy was about it. Yeah. That's why Suge couldn't take him on his own. He had to Drake that, have his boys rape him. That's, I think, how Easy got AIDS. That's how I think that's how Easy got it. Yo, Easy didn't get AIDS, fam.
You a wild boy.
I think he got something else, bro. Like, I know AIDS was bad back then, but like he must have died like the quickest.
There's a theory out there.
Yo, how did every franchise person get AIDS in LA?
That's what was happening
in LA at that time.
What you think? The same thing is happening now.
Which is?
Dudes fucking dudes.
Yeah, but why didn't that happen to other franchise players? Like, why didn't Joe Montana get that shit?
Because dude
from Queen is his name. Was Freddie Mercury?
Oh, that's another thing I got smoke with. I don't know if it's smoke, but it's like maybe there's a point.
We're getting somewhere.
There's a point to this. I don't know exactly what it is, and I haven't found a way how to get to it. Maybe it's even for an episode of Inside Jokes, but it's like we always give rappers all this shit for like not living their raps, talking all this shit about not living their raps, and then we got this gay motherfucker for Queen talking about fucking pussy this whole time when he was sucking dicks. Do you know what I mean? Like all these rock stars out here sucking dicks, and we letting them sing about pussy. They're just as phony.
Listen, he said he was having sex. He wasn't specific.
I think they talking about girls, and they definitely never talk about sucking dicks.
Frank Ocean in his Novocaine video was mad hoes before he came out.
Real talk, Frank Ocean, the biggest liar out here.
True, not living his raps.
Living in an ocean full of cum.
I mean, shout out to Tyler
Team
Creator.
Breezy, dog. Team Breezy.
I'm
shout out to Tyler
saying.
Creator, though. Tyler Creator living his raps, bro.
Why? What do you mean?
I think it's singing about being in love with dudes all up in his album. Like, he's super gay now.
Tyler, the Creator, gay?
Yeah, yes, bro.
Yo, can we talk about something's in the water in LA, fam?
Nah, bro, he's big
Gerard
gay, bro.
Carmichael, gay. Tyler Creator, gay.
Hey, let me ask
Magic
you this.
Johnson,
Hey, let's get fucking crazy.
Easy.
Talk that shit. Wait, hold on. I gotta ask this.
All those people you just
Wait,
named
Gerard
for real?
Carmichael's gay for real?
He came out in some HBO shit saying that he had experiences with dudes or something.
Is Gerard gay or is his career just dying?
Whoa.
Patreon only.
So here's the thing.
Patreon the fuck only.
I like Gerard Carmichael.
Why, bro?
I fuck with Gerard.
I like
bro.
Gerard.
He's a good guy. Watch that HBO doc. Tell me that shit ain't fucking melatonin.
Yeah, it's
I didn't
a doc.
sequel,
It's a
bro.
doc. It wasn't
I didn't
a
see
comedy
that.
show.
Yeah, people love documentaries. Everybody recommend, you should watch this document. Ain't nobody recommending that Gerard documentary. I watched 15 minutes of it. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it looked sad.
It's
I don't
just
want to watch
boring ass conversations with his boring ass family. You the most entertaining one in the family. That tells me all I need to know.
Right. I don't know why you're so angry at
I'm
this
about to
guy.
say,
Like, what did he do to you, son? Like,
I'm riled up from before. Dudes gave Easy AIDS. I'm telling you, shook dudes.
all right, so back to the
I just think
Gerard
you hate
shit.
gay people, bro.
I didn't even know. I just got a text from Charlamagne. He's like, yo, I think Gerard came out on HBO last night, right? But nobody cared about it. And it was one of the
Yeah, I had no
weirdest
idea.
things because it's like, that's gotta kill you. Like imagine coming out and nobody cared. Like, son, that's gotta body you right there. Like when you say, yeah, I done some shit with dudes, you think in the New York Post, front page. Nobody
getting that
knows.
Ellen
And
treatment,
to
bro.
my point, I think on some level he's like, yo, the industry loves me, but I keep putting out this shit and nobody gives a fuck. I gotta make them give a fuck. I'm gay.
But so
And then when nobody cares that you gay, that's extra fucking embarrassing.
That's kind of how I felt about Frank Ocean, bro.
what you mean?
That's how I felt about Frank Ocean. I always thought his music was just alright. Like, he came out around the same time as, like, Miguel and The Weeknd, and all these people were like, oh, man, Miguel and The Weeknd, but Frank Ocean, oh, my God, he's such a genius. I'm like, he's alright.
He gayed at the
and
right time.
And as soon as he came out the closet, everybody was like, oh, my God, what a genius. I'm like, yo, the music's good. Like, I don't... No, and then like if you look back now, like whose songs have really stood the test?
Are you
of time?
saying the bar of soap is lower for gays?
Hey, man.
Yo, we got some captain
I didn't
questions.
stutter. I was slapped.
We got some captain questions. Nah, but like Miguel and the
I hear
Weeknd
what you're
clearly
saying.
put out
He
better
gave it the
music.
right time. Yeah.
But you know, Frank Ocean came out and everybody
Yo,
had to be all.
that gay shit don't slap like it used
It
to,
really
bro.
don't. Yo, I've been
That's
trying
the
to say
thing.
this. I'm like, yo, that used to be the
When
fucking.
you came out as gay,
Boom.
son, that shit was a
It's not
newsmaker.
hype anymore.
It's not
a big
hype
deal.
no more.
Yeah,
which
now
is,
you
which
gotta
is
be
cool.
trans, dog. You
I
gotta,
think the real
Step
shit
it
is,
up, bro.
Yo, I'm saying.
yo,
Step it
the
up.
real
We gotta be
shit
trans
is
now,
that
B.
you know what it is though. That gay shit don't work for whites. If your fans are whites,
Yeah.
that gay shit don't work. Like,
Like,
we're
bro, my uncle's gay,
unimpressed,
bro. Stop.
We're unimpressed. It's like when you tell somebody white, like you just bought your first house. They're like, that's cute. It's like, or you're like, I graduated high school. You're like,
Alright.
you're supposed to.
You all did, bro.
Yeah, like that shit is unimpressive.
Damn,
So
the
I think
gay
when
don't
Gerard,
slap like
I think
that no
Gerard
more.
found out most of his fans are whites. I think that's what it was. Like he was like, I've done some gay shit, and white people were like,
Oh, all right.
that's what we do. We white.
Can I tell you?
My vanilla.
Can I tell you a story about how fucking wild this dude is? Y'all act like I'm wildin'. First time I met Gerard, he came and sat down at a diner with us because he saw Andrew.
Fucks with Gerard.
I like him as a dude, and I think the way he speaks, like in person,
I like his comedy.
My only interaction with him was when he came and sat with us at a diner because he saw Schulz, and it was like poetry when he talked, and I was like, oh, I see how industry people just give you money.
That's how I
see it.
learned. That's how I learned how to speak to these industry folks from a conversation
Gerard?
I had with Gerard.
What did he say?
He's a brilliant, sociopathically good at.
I'm not gonna say he's.
I'm not saying that's who he is, but he is that
All I'm
level
saying,
of.
I know you do this sometimes. You're putting negativity in places that you don't really feel, and I don't want you to.
I agree. I don't dislike him as a person. I think his comedy's boring, and to that point, I think he's as a person. It's listening to him is like inspiring, but. He sits down. This motherfucker judging me. He sits down, tells us he's got a
don't believe
special
what you're
coming
saying,
out.
but
Tells
go
us
on.
he got a. I believe the story because I saw it happen.
Not the
Tells
story,
us he
your
got
opinion
a
on his
special coming
comedy.
out. He's like, I got a new special coming out in 2 weeks. And then Andrew says to him, "Hey, can you do me a favor and not do that thing where you don't get laughs? Because I'm tired of having to explain to people that you're funny."
Defend you.
You said
you, yeah.
explain to people that you're
All
funny.
right, my bad. So yeah, I guess what
I
I'm
think
saying.
he's funny. I like this HBO special.
Yo, so
I didn't
just,
see the
just to
documentary,
clarify
but
what I was
like,
trying to say with you was
What?
what I was trying to say with you is I think it's coming across as more hateful than you are.
I'm
I
trying
don't
to be
think you're
funny,
hateful.
maybe it's coming across hateful.
That's all I'm trying
That's
to clarify. Is your attempt? We're just being silly here.
I know.
But I know the comedy community how like tight it is, so it could be interpreted a different way. In no way, I don't think you think that Gerard isn't a funny comic. I think there's way less funny comics.
I think
than
Gerard's an important comic.
I don't know about that.
I was basically saying I said what I said, bro. He's like,
I'm not going to
you'll
speak for
find
you.
him funny.
Because I've seen Gerard do stand up live, and I've laughed, and I thought it was funny. I laugh out loud, and I thought it was good, like quality stand up. So the reason I said that to him was, I was like, "You're funnier than what you're putting out, and you have this like artsy thing that you want to do, and that's cool, but you got to earn artsy." You know what I mean? Like Picasso didn't start fucking up the eyeballs on a painting until he proved he could paint. You know. So my feeling with him was like, fam, show people what I've seen, and then you could do whatever the fuck you want. So I got to stop saying, yo, this guy's legit funny. No, this guy does
Love
not
his
fuck
ideas.
around.
He had this thing about like
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. I guess so. But I think what has happened is there's a difference between like industry success and just like success with the people. If Cat Williams came out and said he was gay, that's a news story. And Cat Williams, I think, has as many HBO specials as Gerard.
But I think it's just because there's still some homophobia in the black community.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying
So,
about
yeah.
like whites don't care if you're gay or not. Like,
Gerard Carmichael's a
but
white
Gerard
audience.
Carmichael,
Right.
who's his audience? I don't even hear white people really talking about him.
so I think, and Gerard is one of these dudes where you sit down with him and you get completely.
That's what I was saying.
Why he understands. This is
Oh no, I can tell he's brilliant.
And when he
I
speaks,
just don't know
it
who's
is,
his audience.
like legitimately like poetic when he talks. So
Right.
you're like, holy fuck.
So
I never heard anybody talk like
I'm
that.
one of the very few that really enjoyed his.
you like his
Oh,
show.
I really like
Yeah.
the sitcom.
So-
I thought the sitcom was good.
One of the things I've said about Gerard is like when you hang out with him or you do a podcast with him, you completely understand why white executives give him all the money in the same way that they do with Drake, right? You have a sit down with Drake and you're like, oh shit, here's this young, cool, hip black dude, but speaks in a way where I feel comfortable. Take my money. They're not giving the money to black youngster. You know what I mean? Like that scare black youngster scares them. Drake don't scare. You know what I mean? And Gerard does not scare. Gerard, they're like, oh my God, this guy's perfect. And he happens to be very smart. And the comedy's there. Go.
And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying even more than safe, it is like his answers to everything. Like when you said that thing to him, everybody I know, myself included, would get a little fucking like defensive or whatever. Gerard took that, and then the way he responded, he goes, you know what? For me, this was always the plan. It's 3 specials, and it was never about the laughs or even the jokes. It was about tracking my growth. Right. And I go, what do you mean, like as a man? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, I just never heard anybody talk like that about specials. Right. And if you're an exec, you're like, yo, this is so fucking unique the way this guy thinks.
Right.
Beyond even being nice and charming and hip and all that, it's like, oh, his brain just works differently.
Yeah. Yeah. And in a way, if you speak above people, you offer them some sort of salvation.
Dude, you remember he talked to us about art?
Right, Rembrandt.
Yeah.
But all it was is like, you just, if you mention Rembrandt, you don't need to know anything about Rembrandt. You just need to know that the person you're talking to has no clue about Rembrandt. Right?
Because I believe you.
Exactly. So that's so those are things that I learned.
So it's all up for interpretation.
Of course. So those are things like I took from that meeting. I'm like processing how I'm like handling that information. I'm like, it's very convincing. This is very good. And I'm like, okay, when I go and talk to these people, it ain't going to be any more, does he like me? Being likable is useless. Being likable is great for when they have a project for you.
Yeah.
Right? Being likable is great when the network goes, all right, we love you. Let's build something around Kaz. Let's build something around Akash. Let's build something around Andrew. If you want your own project, you got to sell them salvation.
Yeah.
Right?
That is a bar for anybody selling anything. So holy fuck.
All you got to do is walk in there and convince them that they're drowning, right? And you got a boat. Right? So now I walk in there.
You're giving up too many jewels.
Well, it is what it is. Let them run with it.
Baby, that's what we're here for. Baby.
So now, when I used to be in these meetings, it was like, how do they like me? How do I become cool and nice, and maybe we can become friendly? And then when they see that shit in a meeting, it's meaningless to them. It's meaningless. You just food. Oh, here's another person who's like kind of likable or whatever. That doesn't matter. How can I offer you salvation? I walk right into meetings. I'll be like, yo, your network is done. Nobody's going to be watching it. And you know nobody's going to watch it. You know and I know. This is the only chance you have to get people to watch it. And they're like, okay, I'm listening. And then maybe they go for it, maybe they don't.
Maybe they don't.
I've had networks that had said no to past meetings, ask me for meetings again over the same project. Right?
Yeah.
And the difference is just, hey, here's salvation.
Yeah.
I get numbers bigger than what you got. Do you want these numbers? Let's do it.
I mean, that's kind of what happened with Slam. They're just like, they saw me doing a bunch of other shit and doing like the sports shit, and they saw me build something for Revolt, which had nothing, but like the IGTV got some shit. It's like, oh, they're doing sports now.
That's it.
And I was just like, and they were basically like, we got to get into the podcast game. We don't know what to do.
Yep.
How do we do it?
We've had people offer us deals that are disrespectful, and I have, when we said no and walked away, and I have no doubt in my mind they will come back, and that's, if we do it, it would be on our terms or whatever, but like, that's how this works. You just keep working. But yeah, just to the Gerard point, it was, and I remember specifically, we fact checked it. It wasn't even just Rembrandt. It was like comparing Yeezus to like some artist I'd never even heard of until whatever. And then we looked it up, and it was actually valid what he was saying. But
walk into every meeting with some bit of information that they do not know.
Yeah, I literally
if you walk into every meeting.
These are the bullet points I got. So you walk into the meeting and be like, yo, you're fucking trash. Socrates, Pluto, Disney.
Real talk, mic drop you out.
Dick on the table.
That's Kanye.
Son, why do you think Kanye works with these people? He just convinces them that he's all he says, I'm a genius. It's marketing. You're not a genius. You're not a fucking genius. You're good at making music, okay? So is that guy from Sweden, Max whatever, who's written like 90% of all pop songs in the last 20 years. I forget this guy. That guy's a genius.
I forgot the guy's name. I don't know who you're talking about, though.
This guy's all hits. You got misses, fam. This guy's all hits and for different artists. That guy's a legit genius. Right. Okay? So your genius music, doesn't matter. Walk in with information that they don't have and speak to the things that they're already afraid of. Right now, there's blood on the streets in television.
Ooh.
So when you walk in there and you offer a little like wet wipe and some fucking paper towels and some bandages, they start freaking out.
You see that? You heard that right there?
That's it.
That's how you put a bow on the nice.
All right, I got to go get some surgery on my ass. You guys handle the rest
Let's
of the.
do some captain questions and be out, bro.
Keep us posted for real on what's going on.
Yeah, man. Keep it tight.
St.
Don't leave
Louis.
Akash hanging.
My bad. St. Louis. Yo, I'll see y'all this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Also, a little announcement. We haven't sorted out the exact details.
Oh, no, we got the details. Boom. Yo, June 5th.
Game 3.
NBA Finals. Second annual Flagrant 2 Finals Watch Party at Vinyl. Doors open at 8 o'clock. We will have a ticket link up. It'll be cheap, but fuck it. We're all going to fucking have drinks.
We're trying to lock in free drinks for y'all. And the ticket link will go on the Patreon page first.
Yes. By the time we're done, I have a call with a good liquor brand. So hopefully everybody who buys a ticket will get nice and drunk with all of us. And we're going to watch Game 3 together. And it's going to be awesome. We would have did Game 2. But Andrew is going to Toronto for the Raptors game.
Yep.
So Game 3 it is. It's a Wednesday night. Come through. We'll kick it with all the fucking assholes. What's up? June 5th, my fault. June 5th, Game 3. Everybody come through. It's a Vinyl in New York City. New York City. Everybody come through. It's going to be really fucking fun. We haven't done one of these in almost a year now. So it's going to be really fun to see all you assholes. So come through. We'll have a ticket link live. I'll put it in Discord, put it in the Patreon. Tell everybody who's a fucking Flagrant 2 fan, come kick it with us, watch the game, let's have some fun. Should be a good time.
Hell yeah. And just to reiterate, I don't mean any disrespect to Gerard or Easy. I do think Suge raped that motherfucker. I do believe that.
See,
and
the theory is they had a needle.
I have
the theory
it on,
was an injection, not straight butt rape.
No, I have it on some authority that scene in Straight Outta Compton where they don't show Easy getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Not crazy authority, but like a third-party source that the insinuation is, and the rumor is he had his boys
rape him?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's funny. I thought you were backpedaling just now. I was about to be like, you fucking Vanussi.
I'll be backpedaling, dog. Hey, look.
I'm about to say,
I like Gerard. I don't like his specials.
If there's anybody who is, I said what I said more than Akash, I've yet to meet him because he does not back down for shit. Let's get to these captain questions and get the fuck out of here,
shit,
man.
dog. We got actually great fucking captain questions,
right,
and if we can't get to some of them today, we will get to them tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fuck, I wish Andrew was here. First of all, this is something we should bring up with Andrew. April asks, and I've seen a couple of these posts, patron-only merch. We fucks with y'all, fucks us back in a special patron-only kind of
Fuck
way.
'em back. Okay.
April, I'm faithful, but Ed got you.
Ed will fuck you back, happily.
No, you got a girl too, huh? This whole fucking thing is
we all
fucking
booed up
right now. We fucking up, dog.
Goddamn. I like it.
Anyway, we should try to do some shit like that though, and just release it on the Patreon.
Yeah, we haven't released some new merch in a while. Let's get that going.
So we'll try to lock in something like that. Let me look this up. Who did I have down? Gold Toothpicks asks, gun to your head, does LeBron see another NBA Finals? And if so, does he win?
No. No. I don't think he sees another Finals. I don't think so.
I think there's a possibility.
Not in LA.
Gun to your head, though. Gun to your head, you have to answer yes or no.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the yes?
Yeah. I don't think he wins, but I think he goes to another final. And I think he will. He's the type, I can see him sucking up his ego, getting on a monster squad to get back to the finals.
Being like 40-year-old LeBron.
I can't see him doing that anymore. I can't see him doing that. Even 40-year-old LeBron. I think 51-49, he does not. But I do think the Lakers have a better chance at a free agent than we think, just because it's LA.
I'm almost positive they're going to get somebody. I think they're getting one of those big free agents.
Yeah, but he has no trading clause. I mean, he doesn't.
Nah, you can trade him.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he requests a trade to get on a monster squad.
We'll see, but I don't think he sees another finals. I hope he does. I'm a LeBron fan. I hope he does. I hope the Lakers get it together, but I don't think so. Shout out to Complex for that story I put together. The Bron fans, leave me alone. If you read the story, it wasn't any Bron slander there. I was just keeping it a buck, thinking that these
playoffs are better without LeBron. We said it in week one, and there's no reason to.
And it's only gotten better.
Yeah.
It's only gotten better since we've said it. So.
Outside of the Western Conference Finals, this shit has been incredible.
Yeah, man. So if you haven't seen it yet, go to complex.com. It's on the front page. Well, it was on the front page yesterday, but front page why the playoffs have been better without LeBron James.
Bobby Broadway. People killed Ben Simmons after the Sixers were eliminated, called him a bum. Now that we see how Giannis went out against the Raptors and the talk about him needing a mid-range game, were we too hard on Ben? Giannis has completed his sixth season and still no jumper. Ben just completed his second full season, no jumper.
No.
Seems like we're holding Ben to a higher standard.
No, because Giannis actually takes those threes. He actually fucking takes them.
Point number one.
That's the only thing.
Giannis actually takes those threes. Point number two, I would bring up, Giannis came in raw. Giannis was like the 15th pick in the draft.
Yeah, he was the number one. Ben Simmons was the number one overall pick, getting LeBron James comparisons. By year 4, LeBron James was dominating from all points of the court, and Ben Simmons is not there yet.
Yeah, and Giannis was a very raw, green, hadn't been playing that long. So I think we hold the reason we hold Giannis to a little different standard is because he came in so raw. Now, by next year, I fully expect him to have a better jumper than Ben Simmons.
Absolutely.
And not just as a product of age, to your point, as a product of taking them.
You gotta take him. That's my only thing with Ben Simmons. Like, I wouldn't give a fuck if he shot 16% from 3. I wouldn't give a fuck. But you gotta take them. You gotta let people fucking respect you from out there. Something. Dude. Like when people are just like sitting in the paint waiting for you to come drive and shoot that bullshit hook shot, then like, you know, you're becoming one dimensional.
The reason we were hard on Kyrie in game 1 of the playoffs is he didn't shoot. Then, after he started shooting, we all said, oh, Kyrie found his game. Just effort and shots. You just got to put up the fucking shots,
gotta
man.
shoot them.
Especially if you want to be great. That's just number one.
If you're not shooting them, it lets me know that you have no confidence in them. It lets me know you're not practicing enough on them. And that's my thing with Ben Simmons.
Tejal Naik asks, should bad ownership be put up for public vote in all sports? How do we hold them accountable? I don't think that it should be that, but like... Because you can't just vote out everybody.
You can't vote everybody
But there
out.
should be some kind of accountability system, right? Like you can't just... I mean, I get it. You got billions, so kind of that is what it is. But there's got to be something.
Well, there's something to like...
They don't owe shit to the fans. It's their team.
It's true. But at the same time, like if you're a tax-paying, you know, state resident, you're kind of paying for that arena that they stay in or that stadium.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
don't go to the games if you don't like it. It's like if you don't like a company.
Then
you
that's...
can't boycott
listen, if I don't like going to... If I don't like paying, you know... If I don't like driving on the road that isn't paved, I still got to pay for it with my taxes. It doesn't matter.
Well,
no, but this is like entertainment.
No, but so his point is one I spoke about last week, which is this fucking propaganda that I think owners or somebody has put out that a real fan supports his team in good times and bad. And we're all fans of our teams and we've all clung to that. But like in reality, no. No, you're not doing right by me. Why the fuck do I need to give you my money?
Your business. It's like if you put out shitty movies, I'm not gonna be like, yo, as a fan of Marvel, you should support all of our movies if they're good or bad.
No, this
like,
is a merit-based industry. And I really think this is propaganda they got us to buy into, so we keep giving them money no matter how much they fuck up. Nah, if you want to watch a team, watch them. But if you're a Knicks fan, stop going to games. If they don't fix it this year.
Knicks games when they suck, and I go to way more Knicks games when they're good.
This is a season I've been to the least Knicks games this year than I probably ever had in my entire life.
The way I've tried to kind of do it, and I think the Cowboys are getting better. When they were really bad, I was just like, yo, I'm not buying any Cowboys shit. I'm not going to any games. I'll watch on TV because I can't not. I'll read about them because I can't not. But shit that actually makes you money, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that was my little workaround. I don't know if that's useful at all.
What else we got?
There was a good one. Beza Tensai. I don't know how you say it. That sounds Haitian or African. I don't know.
Beza Tensai?
Okay, well, I thought maybe it might be African.
It doesn't look. It looks pretty Haitian to me. Maybe.
It's West Indian of some kind.
Who knows?
Right? Where does LeBron currently rank among the top players in the league? It's pretty clear we all agree the top 4 are Kawhi, Giannis, Steph, and Durant. Is LeBron really not even top 4 anymore? That's a valid fucking question.
Nope.
Did we just forgot that Avon is locked up?
Nope. LeBron's still the best player in the league. He still is. The fact that in the past month we've gone from Kawhi's the best to KD's the best to Steph's the best to Giannis is the best lets us know that the guy who is the unquestioned best for the past 10 postseasons isn't there for one season and now it's so up for grabs. We're a prisoner of the moment. If LeBron was in the playoffs right now, we would be all reminded that he is the best fucking player on earth.
Okay, so right now you got LeBron.
I still got LeBron number 1.
So right now your team could take LeBron or Kawhi.
My team take LeBron or Kawhi?
Yeah, right now. Knicks. Come on, son. Stop it.
Well, you're factoring age or am I factoring the season?
I'm talking
playoffs?
right now.
Right now? I got to win a
right
series right now?
Right
LeBron
now.
James. I need to win a series right now.
You're
LeBron
taking
James.
I think he's right. I think he's
didn't-
right. But if you factor in age, so
Did you guys just see what Kawhi did?
Of course I did, but I'm saying he's younger than LeBron. Obviously, I
but
would want him
LeBron
for
has
the long
done that
term.
with. Think about last year's Cavs team.
Yeah.
J.R. Smith.
He had
Tristan Thompson.
He didn't even have a Lowry or a Pascal. Like he had nothing.
Yeah.
He had J.R. Smith who's washed. He had Kevin Love who's been washed.
4 of those guys on that Cavaliers team are not in the NBA right now.
He had Rodney Hood who's pretty good, but he didn't get the proper time. He had a bad coach. Like Nick Nurse, I think is a good coach. I don't think Ty Lue's a good coach. Maybe I'm wrong. He had nothing, and he fucking carried that team on his back to the finals.
I take Kawhi over LeBron right now.
I know you don't.
I just think he's capable of doing more. Like I think he still has levels he hasn't hit yet.
I think so.
That's interesting too. But yeah, so who am I starting a team with? It's LeBron's not top 5 because he's too old.
Yes, it doesn't. That
But just the best player right now in this moment, the best player in the league, who's playing the best, that's still LeBron.
Yeah. All right.
So if you need to win one game, I think it's still LeBron, or one series. But if you got to build a team, LeBron ain't top 5. He might not be top 10, to be honest with you, just because
he'll fall around 7 to me. I'll still take 3 good LeBron years. 3 or 4.
I think that's it. I think that's all we got time for Patreon question-wise. There was one other one that we might get to next week, depending on... Actually, 2 weeks. If the Warriors win, he said, would they be the best team ever? I think we'll talk about that if they win. I don't think so, but we'll talk about that if they win.
We'll see. See. Anyway, anything to promote?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm still working on this tour. We'll announce a date soon, hopefully, in the next couple weeks.
Nice. Kaz and Vic show premieres today on Slam Media. Go on Slam Online, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you
Yeah, what is the Kaz and Vic show?
It's just me and my girl Vic, Count on Vic. She's like the who's who of NBA Twitter women, just like she's everywhere. She's like an influencer. She's super fucking funny. She's an asshole too, so she rubs gang and all that type of shit. And it's a straight up basketball show. We just talk about hoops all day, talk about what's going on in the world of NBA, talking about slam culture, their magazine, the history of their magazine. We talked to Darius Miles for the first episode, which was really fun.
How was that?
And it was awesome, man. Like, he was really cool to talk to. We talked about people who he went to smoke with and all this other shit. Like, it was really funny. And talking about like the Clippers becoming like the
Give us a
cool
little
team.
tease. What's the funniest shit he said? What's the wildest / funniest shit he
So
said?
we talked about so you know how they have that portion on their
We
podcast?
get how Easy could have got AIDS though. Like, I'm not. You get how that's a possibility, right? Like,
yo, it's okay, bro. It's
like, but
okay.
you get how that's a possibility.
It's okay.
Like, I'm on to some shit, and it bothers me that everybody just dismisses this out of hand.
Oh gosh, you really think Suge had the HIV heat-seeking missile that they were like?
Well,
yo,
I'm just saying.
give it to him
Listen,
and
scientifically speaking, AIDS passes through gay butt sex the easiest.
God damn. All right, Akash. Anyway, speaking of.
Wow. So that's been an episode.
Anyway, this has been an episode of Flaker 2.
Patreon, man.
Slam Online.
Where can I say it?
Slam
Am
Online.
I wrong?
Slam Online.
Someone tell me if I'm wrong saying the mic, I'm wrong scientifically.
I love the gays.
How Freddie Mercury died? Someone answer that question.
Listen, I'm not.
Well, he
pissed
got
off the gays,
motherfucking.
bro. This has been an episode of Flaker 2. No Easy Buckets, a Patreon edition. We will see you Monday.
Freddie Mercury
June
get hit
5th.
by a fucking car?
Come
no,
watch
he got
the
hit by a
finals with
gay
us.
Car.
God damn it.
He got fucked by a dude driving a fucking bug.
And
And then he caught the bug.
Just stop. Whenever you're ready, just stop. God damn it.
It's a goddamn
Just stop.
valid
I'm leaving.
theory.
You
It's
got
my point. I'm not fucking crazy.